It's FYF Sports, man. We back with another TikTok live, man. Just waiting for everybody to pull up and get in here, man. We got some good topics for you guys today. And I know y'all, obviously y'all see the topic on the screen right here. The main topic of the day. Salute to Ronald Kelly, salute to SG. There's some other basketball topics I want to get into too. Some lesser topics that I think are getting overlooked. But in a sense, they kind of tie into this, but I think it starts with this Lakers story that just got dropped. Obviously, it's just one of the biggest stories out right now. And today we're gonna go through the full report. I think there's a lot of people that are just looking at headlines and then just running with the headline. But we're gonna break down what did Baxter Holmes of ESPN actually report. Right, that's what we're talking about. Salute to Joe in the chat. He says, "How's you? Look, man, I've been solid, man. Salute in the chat." Exactly, Graves. But Graves, isn't it always like that? Isn't it always like that, Graves? Isn't it? For example, when these scandals pop up around these players, and then everybody kills the player, but then let's say the player gets exonerated. Nobody talks about the exoneration. We've seen this happen multiple times. We've seen, and I knew that was happening. I'm glad that Jeanie Buss immediately came out to refute it, but we're going to talk about all that today. We're going to talk about everyone's reaction. Look, as everyone gets in here today, make sure as we get through this intro that you guys share the live, right? We're going to share the live as we get through the intro of the show. Again, the intro is really only to buy you guys time to get your ducks in order. Share the live. We can share the live. We can push it out on our end as we do so. And as you guys take the next couple of minutes to go over to YouTube, make sure you are subscribing to GOAT James Kingdom on YouTube, subscribing to FYF Sports and FYF Clips on YouTube. Support us on our platforms. And as we always say, if you miss anything in this live, this entire TikTok live will be on YouTube in full. So again, if you miss anything, we always reserve all of the content. You can go rewatch it in full on one of our platforms over on YouTube. But look, y'all, we got a good topic for you guys today. Again, it's going to expand into a whole bunch of other topics, NBA trade talk, some of the gambling scandals and things of that going on. But obviously the main topic of the day, Jeanie Buss, LeBron James, are the Los Angeles Lakers in shambles? What's going on in LA? That's what we're going to be cooking on today. GOAT James Kingdom will be up here. FYF Sports. Again, it's another TikTok takeover. It's not Saturday, but we're going to be cooking all the same, man. It's FYF Sports. It's GOAT James Kingdom, man. We're going to go ahead and rock out, man. Y'all get ready for another good show.
Yeah. I gave it all, didn't need no help. Shit, I've been scarred since. 300 black, got moving black trucks with the dog tent. Matilda got the chocolate face. Louis V came with the large print. Even Superman get tired of regular nigga. Feel like Clark Kent. Even Superman get tired of regular nigga. Feel like Clark Kent. Yeah. Money bought more problems, run through paper like we ain't used to shit. Gangsta blues, fill up the kit, just mix the juice with Trish. With my dog, feel like hand-me-down, might pass Lil Snoop a bitch. Just talk to Dub, I felt this pain, cause shit don't usually miss. Plant your feet, shit out the mud, I'm trying to break the curse. Still in the spot, I posted left, we trying to make it work. Private meetings discussing numbers, eating Jamaican jerk. Keep it P, in other words, bitch, we got pills and perp. Man in the mirror, please stay focused, got nothing to prove to niggas. Told my bitch tighten up her screws before she lose a nigga. Mechanic shop, post in the hood, rich off the users, nigga. Kitchen plate full of Rock Nation like I'm cool with Jigga. Seen some good niggas caught up, they took some bad advice. Couple mistakes that got correct, shit, I'm just glad it's right. Bitch dress, put that shit on, see what the fashion like. Duffel bag filled up with pips like I know Gladys Knight. Hey, babe, go find somebody flaw. This shit real here. Dallas like 4 days, been with them members and we still here. Game watered down, but I'm still swimming, got that seal near. Finally saw the real you, shit crazy, diamonds real clear, it's Lero. Gave it all, didn't need no help. Shit, I've been scarred since. 300 black, got moving black trucks with the dog tent. Matilda got the chocolate face. Louis V came with the large print. Even Superman get tired of regular nigga, feel like Clark Kent. Even Superman get tired of regular nigga, feel like Clark Kent. Even Superman get tired of regular nigga, feel like Clark Kent.
FAF Sportsman, Go James Kingdom. Go James Kingdom's gonna be up here live here pretty soon. Got a good show for you guys today. Look, I'm gonna start going ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start breaking some of this document down for you guys based on what I've read. We're gonna be bringing you guys up here to cook on this topic. And as you guys always know, man, these topics always expand into other basketball topics. That's ultimately what I want to get into, because, you know, it's odd that this story is getting so much attention from the basketball community when this is really this particular story should matter most to like Business Insider, you know, Money Magazine Today. This is a business matter. This isn't a basketball matter. Salute to Flex Sweat in their building, man. Salute. And it's just odd to me how obviously certain writers know I can give this story a little extra push by just finding a way to incorporate LeBron James. But then as you read the article, you say to yourself, this don't got nothing to do with LeBron James. This is not a LeBron problem. This is a ownership problem. These are billionaire problems. These are team owner problems. And so I asked myself, you know, there was a ton of drama going on in the Boston Celtic front office. You know, when they had to fire their head coach, most of that got kept behind the scene, right? Once the head coach got fired, you know, it was back to business. So let me break down what I have so far, at least. And salute to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure we sharing that live. Salute to King Angel. Salute to everybody. YB says Jeanie Buss was never respected by her brothers. But see, YB, that's business. That's why I say this is a business issue, right? Because in business, the people at the top are considered the most ruthless. There's no way you get to where Jeanie Buss is and you ain't undercut somebody, done something to get somebody fired and moved out of a certain, that's just the nature of business. And I think the craziest reality of all this is there's a lot of people, especially the people that are on the LeBron James hate side, that don't like how LeBron James has also figured this out in his own dealings. Because LeBron James essentially has understood that this is a business and I'm going to treat it as such. So much so that he created his own sports agency. It's a business. And like I said, we're going to get Johnny to cook on this topic. Johnny should be up here pretty soon. Let's just go with the opening of this story, y'all. So this story opens up, according to the Baxter Holmes article, the story opens up with Jeanie Buss getting a text from the Laker CFO, Joe McCormick, on November 20th, 8:45 a.m. about organizational changes, right? Jesse learns that he and Joey are being fired immediately, right? It wasn't just them. Jim and Johnny, the older brothers, and Jeanie, the sister, are also out. And Jeanie Buss is the only Buss sibling left with a role within the Laker organization. Now, the Lakers at this particular time were playing well. They were 11-4, and the sale had closed 3 weeks earlier, which is why the timing felt off internally. And this was according to Baxter Holmes' article, right? And it says a team official's summary quote was, "She fired everyone." She fired everyone. This is billionaire problems, y'all. As you read the start of this article, this seems like a billionaire problem. This is billionaires doing billionaire things for billionaire reasons. Now, it does seem like the other family members might have some type of legal argument against Jeanie Buss, because it does seem like she was dealing with Mark Walters, the guy who actually bought the Lakers, separate from the others, which would be ultimately illegal and could potentially terminate the sale if the other family members pursued it. But when I read the opening of this story, the first thing that I concluded, you guys, was this is not a LeBron James story. It says the report's opening premise is a sale closes, there's an internal power fallout, and the Buss siblings are removed. This is how it starts. We proceed into this story, right? So when we proceed into the next portion of this article, the article frames the post-2013 era as siblings infighting, subterfuge, attempted coups, and deep family distrust. It also flags lingering questions inside the family about whether the sale aligned with the trust and whether allies or friends were financially taken care of. They said that around the time Jeanie Buss fired everyone, she had a close-knit group of people that were working with her. And it was believed that this group of people working with her that helped her facilitate the sale all grossed between 10 to 24 million after the sale was done. Something for you guys to think about. All right, so as we proceed to the next portion of the article, remember, as we read the article, I'm still not at anything related to LeBron James. So I want you guys to be mindful, right? As I get through this article, I want you guys to be mindful of the people that are talking about this particular topic, but they cannot separate LeBron James from this conversation, because as I get through this article, as you already see, I'm already at close to about the middle summary of this article, and there's nothing about LeBron James. This next portion of the article is around 2017. It talks about how Jeanie consolidates control after firing Jim. This element of the article talks about the shady business dealings of Jeanie Buss and how she ultimately set the sale up of the Los Angeles Lakers. Hold on, let's get Go James Kingdom up here. And make sure you guys share this live, because we breaking down the article in full. We're not shying away from it, but what I'm showing you guys as we progress through this article is how it has little to no relation to LeBron James, and how there will be a lot of people out here that are going to lie to you about what this entire situation is about. I heard Elder and Ticket TV talking about it. These fools are on the panel talking about Rich Paul, and I knew he was shady. I knew something was going on with him. Bro, do y'all know how to read? So as I'm about to go to Go James Kingdom, let me get to this next section, because I think this next section is critical. It says, in 2017, Jeanie fires Jim Buss and removes Mitch Kupchak, then hires Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson. It says Jim and Johnny responded by exploring whether the trust allows Jeanie to operate as an absolute dictator. So Jeanie was doing so many things on her own at this time that her brothers were trying to figure out, how is she able to operate with so much power? And they try And it says, and they tried to replace board seats with names that excluded Jeanie. So now her brothers see that she's operating like a dictator. So now they're operating behind the scenes to put other people on the board, on the board, so that they can have control, and more so control over Jeanie, right? It says Jeanie fights back legally with something called a TRO plus a lawsuit and prevails, with Jeanie, Jesse, and Joey siding with her. So at this time, and I was telling Goat James Kingdom about this earlier, back in 2017, Jeanie Buss actually befriended Jeanie, Jesse, and Joey so that she can then get into cahoots to work against the other siblings, Jim and Johnny. Once again, we are nothing related to LeBron James. So after Jeanie Buss gets other siblings on her side, was able to beat Jim and Johnny legally with a TRO and a lawsuit, Jim resigns as co-trustee. So the takeaway from this middling section is this is a key power move in 2017. Jeanie wins the coup attempt and becomes more insulated, right? Because now she has other family members on her side. Jeanie, Jesse, and Joey, they're all siding with her now. That's where we're at so far. Remember, now we are about halfway through this article. Once again, nothing about LeBron James, but this does show you guys how these authors of these articles are very intentional. They're smart because they know I can get everybody to read this article if I find a way to wiggle LeBron James into the title. And that's what they were masterful at doing. Go James Kingdom, so far, and I don't know if you heard the beginning, but so far, what are you taking away from all this?
Peace, Lamont. Peace and blessings, y'all. Listen, I did miss it. My bad, Lamont. I know you told me we was going live and I was supposed to get on here quicker than this, but I already know what you read. I already read it myself. Again, this is very interesting because like I told you when we had this conversation, what's being said out here is clear, like you said, Zesty Jeffrey hype. It's basically putting LeBron's name in something to get people to click and read, right? And when you read it, it's just going to show you how Jeanie Buss is the true determining factor for everything that's been going on with the Lakers for the last 7 to 8 years. And I've stated this. Remember, I had a Friday night show telling everybody the Lakers sell was a sabotage. That's what the Lakers have been trying to do for them. They were not trying to win championships these last 4 or 5 years. It costs money to do that. Jeanie Buss has been running around here finagling people to be not only to get money from the Lakers, but also to just be a part of the Lakers. She wants full dominant control, complete dictatorship. And she's not going to relinquish none of her power, not even to her own family members. And now this is what's getting out because they're using her against herself. They basically, like remember I told you, they're basically putting this information out so that Jeanie now has to defend herself amongst her peers, the people that she's around every day.
It kind of, so as I read the article, I don't get the indication that her other siblings were in on this article. I get the inclination that Baxter Holmes caught wind of some messy details and just started digging. And he's just started putting pieces together because he was struggling to even get quotes from some of the family members. Because remember, there are two sides to this. Jeanie is so slick. In 2017, the family members that she needed to get her two older brothers out the way, she sided with. But then those same family members that helped her get Jim and Johnny out the way, she completely flipped on them, fired them most recently, and then sold the team to Mark Walters. This seems like Jeanie Buss just gone on a rogue mission, just doing a lot of things on her own. It was shady because this next part right here, as we get to the end of the article, it says the report says that Pelinka, because look at how she started putting people in place, right? Because there was a lot of us that always wondered, why is Pelinka there? Right? So when we asked ourselves about Rob Pelinka, a lot of people were saying, why do you have Pelinka as your, GM when Rob Pelinka has some of the worst relationships in the NBA. Nobody likes doing business with him. He can't get any trades done. Why would you put? But this is why it says she installed Pelinka because he was in her inner circle. So the report says Pelinka is a part of Jeannie's inner circle that also includes Kirk and Linda Rambis, and includes a pinpointed quote from someone close to the family that says she has viewed her friends as her family and her family as her foes. And it says this is important because it sets up how the story later interprets the sale negotiation, bonus structures for Rob Pelinka, Kirk, and Linda Rambis, and then the ultimate firings of her other siblings. And so again, it's very interesting, right? Because there's even more into this. Because now I like how it breaks it down year by year, because now it's taking us into 2019, the Anthony Davis era, right? This is probably where we can now find a way to incorporate LeBron James. And in 2019, it says the Anthony Davis era begins and the family relationship fractures hard. So this is where the fracture started. And it says this is where the biggest fracture started. This is story marks July 13, 2019. Anthony Davis intro as a turning point, explicitly noting the AD trade instantly vaulted the Lakers into contention paired with LeBron. After that event, Jesse asked Jeanie about Pelinka's remark involving Johnny, and the call takes a dark turn, leading to the reported quote Jeanie allegedly said to Jesse, "You should have never been born." So Jeanie Buss referenced a quote from her dad, where her dad had actually promised her mom that he would never have kids with another woman, but he ultimately did. And so some of her stepbrothers, she told one of her stepbrothers, who's now working with the organization, in a meeting, that you should have never been born. It says the report provides surrounding context. It says the promise story involving Joanne and Jerry Buss, and how that revelation reactivated resentments. And again, this is all personal beef of billionaires. This is a billionaire family. This is like a soap. This is like Days of Our Lives. This has nothing to do with LeBron James. This is billionaires, right? Billionaires. I don't get none of this, man. I don't get how people
but that's
are
the
so
contradictory. But that's the contradictory in all this, right? So they're basically explaining how much power Jeanie has been basically exuding throughout all of this, right, for the Lakers. Meanwhile, by trying to say LeBron James has been the problem, right? So the whole headline of everything is what she says about LeBron, basically saying like she's been handcuffed by LeBron, when in reality, everything in this article and everything that we know from the history of the Lakers, Jeanie Buss has been the dominant head factor, the one that made the final decision. The final stamp was going through her. She approved everything.
I agree, because this next portion, it says Jeannie's tightening control and PR sensitivity. So after AD got there, obviously LeBron is there now. It says after that period, the report says Jeanie became more sensitive to organizational criticism and tightened her circle, grew suspicious of leaks, and prioritized narrative and PR. And it says where LeBron enters the report. It says the report claims Jeanie privately grumbled about LeBron's ego and perceived control and influence. It says she didn't like the framing of LeBron as the franchise savior, and that his camp had signaled he was coming early. This is the report says the Westbrook trade deepened the rift. It claims Jeanie bristled at perceived lack of accountability after it backfired, and alleges she mused about not extending him, even trading him in 2022 to the Clippers, before he later got a no trade clause in 2024. And it says, but here's the correct factual findings. It says, these are reported internal sentiments and hypothetical scenarios. They're not confirmed action. It says, and the public actions later, which were LeBron's extension, obviously the continued partnership with the Lakers. It says all of everything goes against any claim that they were plotting to get rid of LeBron. That's why this article doesn't make sense. And I think the writer was kind of slick in trying to incorporate LeBron into this, but all of these sentiments that he says, first, this article claims, like you said, Go James, that Jeanie Buss had all this power. But then the person with all this power, the person that's signing off on every contract, every trade, getting people fired, filing lawsuits to shift power, all of a sudden, you have all this power and control, but you can't do nothing with LeBron James and Rich Paul. I don't get the logic of this. You got all this power. You can fire people. You're moving millions of dollars, but in comes LeBron, but you can't do nothing with him. He got all this control. All you can do is sit back and cry and complain. That's where this is where you lose me.
You know, you can regulate the power of your siblings who have as much power and more power than LeBron, right? If not, they have more power than LeBron. You could regulate them, but you couldn't regulate LeBron. That's why I told people. That's why I told you I can't wait to talk this, Lamont. Because when you read the article and even when you watch the little video he made about it, it's really about how the Lakers sold their franchise due to sibling rivalry.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's gotten so bad that the reports of what Jeanie Buss has been groaning about supposedly with LeBron is not really true. But these are the reports that have been coming out because of her siblings, like I said, trying to make her have a bad name. Because remember, she got rid of all of them, sold the team to make sure that they can have no involvement at all. Meanwhile, she got a job for 5 years as basically the same individual, like she was the owner. And she gets to make all the same decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So she just basically finagled her entire family into still being a part of the Lakers and running the Lakers and Xing out anybody that she doesn't like. But I still think she's been sabotaging the Lakers all along, and she doesn't want LeBron to get the 5th ring on Kobe's watch.
Well,
or at least on her watch.
I don't know if it's sabotage. I just think that in a winning organization, if you don't have everybody on one accord, which obviously you're not always going to agree, sometimes they'll be fighting, but if everybody, if it seems like there are just too many divides, everybody's on a different page. You got these two brothers over here, they're beefing with Jeanie and they want to go in a different direction. You got Jeanie doing her own thing, and instead of focusing on making the team better, she's more focused on getting the other siblings on her side, filing lawsuits against her other two brothers, doing all this stuff. How can you have a winning organization when everybody at the top, like you said, y'all doing the days of our lives infighting? Y'all ain't trying to sign players. Y'all ain't trying to figure out how to figure out these trades. When the Russell Westbrook trade goes wrong, you guys aren't trying to figure out how to move Russell Westbrook so you don't get robbed, right? You're not trying to do any of this stuff. You guys are more worried about infighting. And I think that's one of the reasons why, when you think about why D'Angelo Russell, who didn't fit, was stuck there so long, right? Why was he stuck there so long, right? When they hired Darvin Ham, it seemed like a rush hiring. Why was that decision rushed? Who actually made that decision? When you fired Darvin Ham, which I think he shouldn't have got fired, that seemed like a rush decision. Who made that decision? And it's just like, y'all seem to be all
Jeanie. Jeanie made all those decisions. She's the final takeoff on all of that.
I'm going to read this next part. It talks about the manipulation angle. It says, Joey and Jesse proposed selling a minority stake to keep control in the family, right? So Joey and Jesse only wanted to sell a minority stake. They wanted the family to stay in control of the team. They said they believe it preserves Jerry's intent. This is described in the later in the article. It says then they get called into meetings, and then they're told Mark Walters offers to buy over a 50% stake in the team at a $10 billion valuation. The siblings and Jeanie Buss told them that the siblings would net a huge after-tax proceeds of $500 million for each sibling. It says Jeanie remains governor for at least 5 years as a part of the plan. But she didn't tell them that part of the plan. She just let them know that Mark Walters made the offer. It says the report includes a very blunt, attributed quote about motive, which says and this is from one of the family members, and this goes to you, Go James Kingdom. It says Jeanie just didn't want any more Buss family members to own the team. It says the vote became unanimous 6-0, but the report says that Joey and Jesse still felt betrayed afterwards. And it says what the report supports factually is the process was fast. Jeanie had decisive influence, which once again shows her power, and the outcome removed all of her siblings from their roles. And it says there is a ton of manipulation framing in this entire article. That's all revolves around Jeanie Buss. This is nasty
it's an article, and it's basically a story about how wicked Jeanie Buss has been, right? Because think about this: the betrayal that her siblings are talking about. She used her stepbrother, right, and I believe somebody else, one of her siblings, to get rid of her older brother, right? Get him fired, and then win the lawsuit against him, so that she had the right to fire him. Because remember, they all had equal shares in ownership. That was through the trust that Dr. Buss passed down to all his kids. It was 6 of them, right? So they all have the same equal ownership of the Lakers. But she was in so much control. They wanted to have some control. She wouldn't give them none. So she gets rid of her older brother. She uses the other siblings to do it. And then, like you said, she pulls this move to sell the team and tell them about how much money they can make. Meanwhile, she runs off as the top person, and she can fire anybody because that's her job. They can't say nothing. They can't do nothing because they don't own the team. So she gets rid of everybody now. So now she runs the entire thing. LeBron doesn't get a contract no more, and she's ready to move on. By 2028, like I told you, there's nobody left on the Lakers contract. There's no players after 2026. They don't got nobody. I mean, 2027, it's just Luka and Bronny.
You're right. And so I just found a New York Times online article where the New York Times this author says, "I call BS." And the title of the article is "Separating LeBron from the Nonsense." It says what were the Lakers 6 years before LeBron arrived? It says the 6 seasons immediately prior to LeBron's arrival, which is 2012, 2013 through 2017, 2018, the Lakers were playoffs first round loss, missed the playoffs the next year, missed the playoffs again, missed the playoffs again, missed the playoffs again, and then missed the playoffs again. And then all of these seasons, we're talking about losing record, 27-55, 21-61, 17-65. Very, very mediocre team, right? It says ESPN also documented the franchise's 6-year playoff miss streak around that period. But it talks about how the reason why they say they call BS on this article is because they said if there's anyone that gets the lion's share of the credit for turning this around, it said there is no other finger to point to other than LeBron James. Because as soon as LeBron James got there, it says, what changed after LeBron arrived? It says, after LeBron arrived, within 2 years, the Lakers won an NBA championship, the 2019-2020 NBA championship. LeBron was the finals MVP. And then the Lakers also won the inaugural NBA in-season cup tournament in December of 2023, right? That's immediately changing. And everybody, if you got background noise, please stay on mute, man. You guys have a lot of stuff going on. Just don't have live mics up here because a lot of you guys, you're killing the audio and people are complaining about it in the comments. So, again, if you got a lot of stuff going on in your background, make sure you just stay muted up. And then if you want to say something, just unmute and talk from there. But we got to try to keep this audio clean. So this is another thing. It's hard for me to believe that Jeanie Buss was upset that LeBron James was getting the lion's share of the credit because who else do you give this credit to? If LeBron James never comes to LA, Anthony Davis never comes to LA. If Anthony Davis is never in LA, that means you never get Luka Doncic. Everything that's good that's happened to the Lakers since LeBron has arrived has been because of LeBron James. I just don't see Jeanie. This is a Jeanie Buss who we saw laughing, kikiing, and ha-haing with LeBron James courtside last year. They look like the best of friends, but now all of a sudden she has all of this resentment towards him because remember last year, these same LeBron James haters were sharing that picture of Jeanie Buss and LeBron sitting on the sidelines. They were dang near alluding to the fact that he was cheating on Savannah. That's how happy they looked. Again, very, very odd, man. These odd connections here. But we got everybody up on the panel, man. Twin Man, we got Olo, Ochi and JJ, man. Twin Man, I want to hear your thoughts on this because we know you like to get political with it, man. What you got on this?
Well, honestly, are you shocked by it? Let's be real here, bro. You gotta minimize what LeBron did for the Lakers, because if you don't, now you gotta sit here and really say, yo, he's the GOAT. Like, the Lakers is an historic franchise. Like, that's one of the most coveted franchises in the NBA, and he took them from basically the bottom back to the top of the league, single-handedly. Let's be real. He did that by his damn self. Anthony Davis doesn't go there without LeBron being there. They're not going to get anyone. So for them to sit here and minimize LeBron James's part in making the Lakers franchise great again has to happen. We already know Jeanie Buss, in my opinion, she never really liked LeBron or wanted LeBron to come there. But we understand this is always about dollars and cents. You need, for a franchise like that, you need a historical player on that team at all times. Why do you think Luka's there?
But I think the sentiment is, Twin Man, that part of the article does not seem believable. That part of the article where the resentment about LeBron, to me, that is the fabricated portion of the article that sounds more like the writer trying to find a way to incorporate LeBron for more clicks and views. So you add something in that, as it even says right here in the breakdown, that's hypothetical, that's rumored, and you mix that with all of the facts because everything else is documented and factual. The firings, the lawsuits, the back and forths, that's all documented. But this funny insert about LeBron, that's what don't make no sense.
Really believe she never really wanted him to come there. That, because you think about it, right after he got there, there's the falling out with Magic. I don't think Jeanie or Rob Pelinka wanted him on the team. But again, certain franchises, you have to have an historical player there. It doesn't matter what the legacy of the franchise is if you're not winning championships or have the ability to win a championship. And at this point in the league, at any age, LeBron James comes with getting to the finals. They know that. But they never wanted him to be a Laker because they wanted the legacy of the Lakers to end with Kobe.
But this is where the article contradicts itself, because the article is going to, in one sense, try to lead you to believe that that Jeanie Buss never wanted LeBron there. The reason why that doesn't seem believable to me is because this whole entire article is grounded around Jeanie Buss having all this dictator-like power. She has gotten CEOs fired. She's gotten siblings who are heirs to the franchise fired. She is literally chopping heads whenever she wants somebody chopped down. I believe that if she had any issue with LeBron James, there's no question to me that she would have found a way to trade him and get him off that team. With all of the power that this entire article talks about, her power, if she really wanted LeBron James traded, it would have been very easy for her to facilitate a trade just like that, because there's a plethora of teams that would take LeBron James. So that's why I say the inserting of LeBron James seems fake. As Johnny said, I think it's just a hit piece on Jeanie. And then you try to throw in a few extra little, throw a little extra dirt in that's more subjective just to sauce it up to say, yeah, and she didn't like LeBron either. And
I do believe I can't disagree with what you're saying there. It might absolutely be a hit piece on Jeanie, but if you think of some of the moves they made, like, again, you have an historical player in LeBron James, and some of the moves they made, it really did seem like they were sabotaging the team so they couldn't win.
Like what? Yep.
So that's why I feel like it's a bit of both.
But like,
I feel like they were trying to gatekeep.
Hold on, let's just stop right there. What move do you feel that you feel was sabotage?
So you have players that want to come to the Lakers. Decent role players. I would even say decent number twos that want to come there. So DeMar DeRozan been dying to be a Laker, and you mean to tell me you can't give him the third year for him to get him on the team? You can't do that.
Yeah, but we all know that the DeMar DeRozan move was overshadowed because, and this has been documented, is because LeBron James did want Westbrook. Remember, they had that meeting with Anthony Davis. LeBron wanted Westbrook. It was the actual ownership in front office that wanted DeMar. But LeBron thought it would be better to bring, and rightfully so, because at that time, Westbrook had just finished up a hellified season with Washington, getting them into the playoffs, and he averaged a triple-double.
No, Lamar, that's not true. That's not true.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at it. LeBron wanted Westbrook.
The Westbrook was a final approval by LeBron because they told him that's the best we're going to give you. Because again, Westbrook, the Lakers were not interested in long-term deals. They were never interested in that. LeBron was never supposed to play this long. That's the problem. He wasn't supposed to play this long. They were supposed to build a quick championship around 2020, 2021, and that was it. They didn't have long-term investment ideas with LeBron James.
What I'm saying is this. It's not even about, like, what I'm saying is, yes, the Russell Westbrook move didn't work. But for us to pretend as if the DeMar DeRozan move would have worked, in the way DeMar DeRozan looks now, that would have been just as bad, if anything. It would have been just as bad.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we can say like that
DeMar
now.
DeRozan's he's a better defender.
It's easy.
It's easy
to say this in hindsight.
Was the issue. No, you keep Kuzma. You keep Caruso. You don't let those dudes go. Those are your players.
Yeah.
You don't let them go.
I think you bring back the 2020 squad. Bring back the 2020 squad.
That 2020 squad they weren't trying to win with. They thought they come on, man. They went and brought Dwight Howard over there, Rondo over there, a bunch of players nobody wanted. They won a championship because of the brilliance of LeBron and having Anthony Davis, and that was that. They were not going to invest long term in that because they weren't thinking 2020. But to them, they thought by 2022 LeBron would be gone. That would be LeBron's last year.
You don't think that 2020 team would have been good enough to repeat 2021?
Hold on, y'all. Look, this is what I'm saying is this right here. Everything that y'all saying about 2020 is in hindsight because nobody knows in the moment if a move is going to work until it fails. So I promise y'all, when that Russell Westbrook trade happened immediately in the moment, there were a lot of people really thinking about, if this works, the Lakers are going to be really good. Nobody saw it tanking and not working the way it did because nobody saw Anthony Davis.
I never thought that Westbrook trade was going to work.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking because there's a lot of people that just don't like Russell Westbrook anyway as a player. So you're going to just be one of those people. No, what I'm saying is the reasons why that didn't work are really not because of Russ. It was because AD could never stay healthy. We never saw AD, Russ, and LeBron in their natural roles together long enough to even know if it worked. AD would get hurt.
That's also true.
No, AD got hurt.
But that's
Bron got hurt. So no, this is the reason. Look,
but that's why it did work. The fact that it didn't work, because that was the attentions. They were not trying to win.
You cannot. What I'm saying is you can't plan for AD getting hurt for that long. Then as soon as AD gets healthy, then LeBron gets hurt. Right now, Russell Westbrook is getting thrown into a number one option sometimes, two options sometimes. Okay, now back to three option. You're never consistently healthy. And then Darvin Ham, the new coach there, Frank Vogel obviously had to deal with it. Right then, Darvin Ham has to walk in and try to clean up all this big mess, and now he's trying to deal with all, because remember it was on the court there was instability because Anthony Davis couldn't stay healthy. If Anthony Davis could play 70 games, I promise you we would have saw a different version of the Lakers. So again, that a lot of these things where we say these moves didn't work, there's more to it than just, they're trying to sabotage the team. I promise y'all, if Anthony Davis stayed healthy, those seasons would have looked a lot different. I mean, I don't know
because the bench was suspect.
I don't even know why you guys are talking about LeBron James. It ain't got nothing to do with the article. It ain't got nothing to do with this article.
Nothing to do with the article.
LeBron James' name, it was to get your eyes to read this article. The way you get somebody to read this article, say something negative about LeBron, add them to the article. Now I get people to read this article. Outside of that, LeBron James literally has nothing to do with this article. If you read the article, he literally has this has everything to do with Jeanie and their family issues within the Lakers and who run the Lakers, who's the most powerful person in the Lakers.
John, we read John, we read the article here. You know we do our job here. We have established that. Now we're talking about exactly what you're saying, how Jeanie has been sabotaging the Lakers.
I don't
How
believe
she's
that.
been
I don't
because
believe. I don't.
I don't think she thought that the Lakers are building a championship roster. If she can get a Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, all these guys, and they win another championship, that's fine. In her mind, by 2023, 2024, all these dudes are off the contracts and we're gonna sell this team. She already had that in the making, in the run. You don't just sell a team. It takes time to do this, ladies and gentlemen.
But the valuation for the Lakers wasn't even 10 billion.
Yeah,
It
but
was 8
she,
billion.
But
I think she
that's
wanted to
why
get
she
some
does
narrative
that.
on
That's
it.
why I said it was successful because bringing in
but
Westbrook brings in the dollars. It brings in the revenue, and that's why you get Bronny James. It brings in the revenue. It raises the value of the franchise.
but
without winning a championship,
as a
without
GM,
spending.
but as if somebody that's running a team, taking on high caliber players on short term contracts is smart. Like that's just called being a good front office person, right? So being mindful of the length of the contracts that you're bringing in, making sure that by this particular year, we're trying to project when we think LeBron James may retire, right? So this is what we don't want to do is while LeBron is here, we don't want to attach ourselves to long-term pieces that probably won't fit when LeBron is gone. To me, that's smart. And that to me, in and of itself, tells me maybe they are trying to win. Maybe they've just made some moves that didn't work. And I think there's a difference. Like, for example, with the Clippers. The Clippers, when they made the Paul George move, they were trying to win. It didn't work. I'm not going to say that Ballmer sabotaged them just because it collapsed in their face massively. It just didn't work out.
Lamont.
No,
It's
I'm
the
just
Clippers,
giving.
Lamont. They can do whatever they want. They can spend all the money. It's the Clippers. They always gonna fail.
I'm giving you an example. Like I'm giving you an example. Like even with the Knicks, we can go to the Knicks. The Knicks gave Jalen Brunson all that money. They brought in all of these second option guys and paid them all, and now they're stuck without a real number one option trying to win a championship. If it doesn't work out, do we say that the Knicks were sabotaging the team, or do we say, well, damn, they tried, it didn't work? I think sometimes teams try stuff. And with the Lakers, it's a little bit more complicated because now you're trying to do these moves around when you believe LeBron may or may not retire. So you have to always keep a strategy in play for the short term and long term. It's not as easy as what people are trying to make it out to be.
Do you think the Lakers made good moves based for long term in 2022 when they acquired Westbrook? I
believe the Westbrook move. Now that the Westbrook move initially, if it would have worked, it would have been a good move. But now that it didn't work, it was a high risk move because bringing him in for what the asking price was, it had to work because you gave up so much capital that if it doesn't work, you're now screwed for some years. And so because that move didn't work, they screwed themselves. Now the next best move that they did was getting some of that capital back, getting off Westbrook, and then actually bringing in some pieces that kind of helped out. And we saw them get to a Western Conference final, right? But again, it wasn't a perfect fit either. That wasn't a perfect fit either. But they had to start repairing the Westbrook deal. Now, obviously you repair the Westbrook deal, but then you get the gift of all gifts thrown in your face. The Dallas Mavericks come along and say, hey, we'll take AD for Luka. I mean, that also changes things right there. So it's just like if you really wanted to show me an organization that's not trying to win, they don't do the Luka trade. That right there would have told me, okay, now I'm going to believe they're not trying to win. If they would have said, nah, we're fine with AD, you're not trying to win. Just point blank.
How Lamont did it? What did you mean? Was getting Luka an automatic win?
Getting Luka tells me what direction you want to go in.
They just went to the finals. They just went to the finals the previous year.
They didn't sign him to the max.
Out.
His contract was up. You know you're gonna give him an extension. That's the whole point, Lamont. There's no long-term deal. Luka's gonna bring you money. That's it.
Yeah, and they didn't even reach out to.
So you don't think a team, Johnny? You don't think a team is trying to win if they acquire Luka in a trade?
Listen, teams that are trying to win spend money. Those are the teams. That's why he brought up the Knicks. The Knicks is spending.
But you only can spend money within the framework of the CBA. You can't just spend like the New York Yankees when there's no salary cap. With the CBA, And after the Russell Westbrook deal, now not only are you in the apron, first and second apron, now you have to figure out, okay, we got some bad contracts. We have to get off bad contracts. We have to try to take in pieces like a D'Angelo Russell, make it work temporarily, right? We have to find a way to make it work, and then hopefully draft well with the little fodder of draft picks that we actually do get.
No, all that
Lamont,
could work if you sign long-term deals to Caruso and those guys. They don't want to.
Hold on. But hold on. In hindsight, we know that they made a mistake. Every team in NBA history, if they can go back and
why you say they made a mistake?
Was a mistake.
They wanted to do. No, that's what they wanted to do, Lamont.
I know. It was a mistake.
No, it was
a bad.
It was just Jeanie being Jeanie.
It was just hold on. It was just.
But Lamont,
it was just hold on. Y'all have to learn. You have to learn how to separate. Look, front office people have to make decisions. There's a difference between making a decision and that decision not working versus somebody just making an intentional decision where they say, "We know it's not going to work, and we're sabotaging the team." That I don't think nobody's. No, it just worked. Winning a championship is hard. Yeah, hold on. That means according to this theory, according to this theory right here, that means nobody's trying to win a championship because most moves don't work.
Lamont, hear me out.
That's not what we.
You had Dwight Howard. You had Dwight Howard after the 2020 season saying if they would have actually talked to him and negotiated with him, he would have took less money to stay on the team.
So, but okay,
McGee was
but twin
man.
You look, all you're telling me are mistakes that they made. And then, first of all, there is no guarantee that bringing Dwight Howard back is a surefire back-to-back championship. Because we know as Laker fans, you guys are gonna cry. You guys cried after getting to the Western Conference Finals. You guys wanted Darvin Ham fired after getting to the Western Conference Finals. There is no making this Laker fan base happy. So at the end of the day, everything can go perfectly well. Y'all can exceed everyone's expectation, and you guys are still gonna cry. We could have been better. There could have been a better move. No. You guys getting to the Western Conference Final that year was surprised the entire world. It should have been enough for most fan bases, but you guys said, no, fire Darvin Ham. We want more because you're not a normal fan base.
Because we was a 12th seed before we made that trade.
It's always something going on. At the end of the day, the Lakers, again, they identified the mistake that they made, which was getting Russ. They start to fix the trade. Once they start to fix it, once you make a trade, once you make a move like that and getting Russ, it's hard to repair it. It takes years. They gave up so much capital. They gave up too much capital. And now they have to spend years to gain some of that capital back. That's what bad moves have. It was a bad move and it backfired on them. And that's all it was. I don't think it's anything more than that.
I think it was a lot more than that. I think Jeanie did all the right things as a businesswoman.
Okay, so hold on. So go James Kingdom. What move would you have made that would have 1,000% guaranteed a championship?
Oh, for the Lakers? Oh, definitely making sure you keep Caruso and Kuzma and KCP. You would have kept those three and alongside LeBron James and AD.
How does that guarantee a championship?
Oh, because those guys ended up winning a championship going elsewhere, helping other players win. That's the point.
No. How does that guarantee a championship for the Lakers?
Because you're putting out the best that you could put out on the floor as your franchise. You're putting out the best you could. They could have beaten the OKC Thunder. I mean, the OKC Thunder, the Suns. No. They could have beat any one of those teams if you keep these guys around.
I'm asking you, how do these trades all of a sudden magically stop LeBron and AD from getting hurt for extended periods of time?
The point is that you still have a team, Lamont. That's the point.
No, because the Lakers' failures have been almost directly tied to their inability to be healthy. When they've been healthy, they've been decent. How many
playoffs have those guys missed? How many playoffs has LeBron James and AD missed?
It's not about playoffs. What I'm saying is, what I've noticed over the Lakers over the last so many years is because of injury, they would get off to horrible starts to the season. Then by December, guys are starting to get healthy, like a Vandal or things like that. Then they would go on these crazy runs around December to January, around the trade deadline, because everybody's starting to get healthy. But because they had dug such a crazy hole at the beginning of the year, these runs that they would go on is just getting them to 500 or just a little bit above 500. Now they have to find a way. Okay, damn, now we're just fighting to stay around the 8 seed. How can we get a little bit higher than that so we can have some breathing room? So now, not only they're fighting to stay healthy, now they have to fight and claw just to get to like a 6 seed, just so they're not playing a 1 seed in the first round. They have never, they keep putting themselves in these holes because they can never be healthy. Right, healthy. Vando going out. Whenever Vandy was healthy last year, they would play beautifully. Then Vandy just goes down out the blue. I'm talking about nobody even sees him get injured half the time. We just wake up the next day and say Vandy's out for 8 weeks. That's all the shit. This is they luck is just shit ball.
I mean, those are dudes that they got after the Westbrook trade, which they should have never made.
But all you're doing is going back to the Westbrook trade when we all know that they made a mistake there.
I'm telling you. But Lamont, the reason they make the Westbrook trade is because they don't want to sign Caruso, KCP, and all those guys and hold them long term. That's the point, Lamont.
No, what I'm saying is
they didn't even have to trade Westbrook. You could let all those guys go.
Why they made the Westbrook trade is irrelevant. All we can agree on is that we know that acquiring Westbrook ultimately turned out to be a bad move for the Lakers. That's all you need to know.
Not when you're trying to sell the team, Lamont. That's a perfect move. I'm selling tickets. I'm hyping everybody up. I'm selling tickets. I'm selling jerseys. He's a star. I got 3 stars on the team. I don't care about winning. I'm selling this team in a year.
Westbrook was not selling jerseys at that stage of his career.
Bro, you crazy? This Westbrook's a star.
When you got Westbrook, right, Lamont? But when you go get
y'all hating him the whole time.
Ariza, Kent Bazemore and Trevor Ariza.
Who's y'all?
Hold on. You have to sign Kent Bazemore and Trevor Ariza because you are so far into the apron that you can only sign minimum contract guys. When you again, they made a move, it didn't work. I'm sure if the Lakers could go back and do it all over again, knowing what they know now, they keep Caruso, they keep Kuzma, they keep KCP. Of course they do all that. At the end of the day, they saw opportunity to bring in a 3rd star, and they're still thinking like, damn, we got 3 stars. We can have another big 3. We can run it back. We can win it again, and it didn't work. But once you realize that the move didn't work, now you have to get into repair mode. So they would have been a losing team if they would have just held on to Westbrook and said, screw it. This shit ain't working. We're just going to let it go into the garbage can. They started to fix it. They got off Westbrook. They got pieces back that helped them get to the Western Conference Finals.
True.
What do you want them to do? Like, the losing move would have just been to hold on to Westbrook and just let everything hit the fan. I mean, it's easy to sabotage the team. Just keep the trash. Don't get to trading the trash and doing a whole bunch of stuff to get better.
But I don't know if the Lakers is actually trying to win with the 2022 summer.
You said again? Say it again.
I don't really think the Lakers is trying to win with the moves that they made that summer when they acquired Westbrook.
Yeah, but again, you guys are only saying that based on what happened after the fact. In the moment, there were a ton of people. When I went live as soon as that trade happened, there were a ton of people calling this a super team. There were a ton of people that were basically looking at what Westbrook had just done with Washington. What we had literally watched Russell Westbrook single-handedly, wasn't Bradley Beal, get Washington into a playoff spot and into the playoffs by himself, playing crazy bad. This is the Westbrook that the Lakers thought they were going to get. They thought they were going to get this Westbrook that was on a tear that could get the Wizards into the playoffs. They didn't get that version of a Westbrook.
He played good with the Lakers. I don't think Westbrook played bad with the Lakers. I used to talk about it all the time.
I know. He didn't play bad. They couldn't be healthy. AD and Bron kept getting hurt.
And personnel. It was healthy and personnel.
AD specifically, sir. AD specifically.
Because he only played 40 games.
I don't know what y'all want me to say. Hold on. Was AD and Bron getting hurt a lot during Westbrook's tenure with the Lakers? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
LeBron played 55.
I don't know what y'all want me to say. It was injuries that killed him. They never. I guarantee you, if all 3 of those players played 82 games, it would be a much different outcome. If Bron, AD, and Russ were able to play 82 games each season they were together, I promise you we would not be having this conversation.
But that's my point, Lamont. It's not like I'm saying that she's like, oh, I'm doing this to sabotage the team in the sense of saying, oh, I'm gonna bring the worst players here. Yes, I'm gonna bring Westbrook because I'm not thinking long term. That's what I was trying to explain to you. So thinking long term is building a team. You're just thinking about how can we fix a band-aid here right now? What's the best we can do right
You
now?
cannot
It's
think
Westbrook.
long term
Westbrook.
and win championships. In the NBA, if you are focused on winning championships, you have to think short term because you have to spend money. Right? If you're thinking long term,
Lamont, you just won a championship. Lamont, you just won a championship.
Yeah, you just won a championship. But again, at this stage, what is the Lakers? The Lakers are invested in doing what once they win a championship? Running that bitch back and winning it again. These motherfuckers are not trying to develop young talent.
No, that's what I'm saying. The guys that help you with. That's what I'm saying, Lamont. You had to pay the guys. That's the point. The only reason Caruso got paid because he won a championship with the Lakers. KCP got paid because he won a championship with the Lakers. Caruso got paid because he won a championship with the Lakers. These dudes, you have to. That's what I'm saying. You have to pay to win. You have to keep paying these dudes because they help you win a championship.
And
you have a championship squad.
At the end of the day,
that's the whole point. That's a championship squad for sure.
But again, y'all still are stuck on 2020. Yes. They made the wrong move in acquiring Westbrook. They probably should have kept the younger players. Just because you make a wrong move as a GM or front office, it doesn't mean that you're trying to lose. It just means you screwed up and you made the wrong move. That's it.
Yo.
No, I don't know
like
about
one
that.
move. Like, yeah.
Bro, y'all gotta put. Why do y'all gotta tag conspiracy to everything? You know, sometimes people screw up.
Today's a conspiracy show. That's why today's conspiracy show. I got two conspiracies for your ass tomorrow. Don't run, nigga. Don't run.
Yeah,
This is a conspiracy show. Nigga. What's wrong with you?
That's
what I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Listen, at the end of the day, if you know you're selling, if you know you're doing all this, you have ownership issues, you have all this stuff going on. The last thing you want to do is say, okay, we're gonna give Caruso, KCP, all these dudes contracts to 2026, 2027 because they won you a championship. You're going to be like, oh, you know what? We ain't going to be signing them, but what can we do? Oh, we can make a trade to get Westbrook here. Westbrook's only going to be here for another 2 years. LeBron's not going to be for another 2 years. The books are going to be cleared by 2025, 2024. Let's make it happen. Let's just do that. If they win a championship, that's good. If they don't, it's fine. Let's just keep it. Like, that's the point. Like, they're not trying to really build a culture. You need a culture, Lamont. You need like they need to be a focus. As we said, they fire Vogel. They bring in Ham out of nowhere. Like you said, why are you bringing Ham? Who made that decision? Then you fire him out of the blue. Boom. Then you bring in JJ Redick, a podcaster. Like, come on, Lamont. Does this sound like a championship franchise, Lamont? You be making fun of my Heat, and you be holding the league. Come on, man.
I'm saying, for example, just think about the Heat. The Heat are a great example. I believe that the Heat and Pat Riley is the worst president in basketball in the NBA right now. And at the end of the day, they're holding on to him. And you know what? The longer they hold on to Heat and Spoelstra, mediocrity after mediocrity after mediocrity after you guys are just going to stay in mediocrity. So again, I think you guys are making the wrong move because you guys are holding on to two mediocre people in your top. And so that leads to mediocrity on the basketball court. You guys are always good enough to compete. No, you guys are always good enough to compete, but you're never good enough to win anything. You always make it look good. So at the end of the day, what should I then say? Pat Riley is intentionally sabotaging. He don't really want to win. He's trying to plan a sale of the Heat 15 years from now.
He is trying to do that. That's exactly what Pat Riley
said that because he didn't get Dame.
Lamont, he tried to do the same shit. Hold on, wait. He did the same shit to Dwayne Wade, right? And the Heat when he tried to save up money for Kevin Durant in 2016 offseason. That didn't work out for him. He did the same nonsense. The only person he can get was Jimmy Butler when he got Jimmy Butler. He's doing the same thing right now. We got rid of Jimmy Butler for the idea of having enough cap space and availability so that no one's on the books at 2028. I think it's the 2027 offseason where Joker's available. Luka, Anthony Edwards. It's going to be another big-time superstar free agency, hopefully, if these guys don't sign extensions. But that's what Pat Riley is risking. He's risking the opportunity of winning now and making the team better now for the idea of grabbing some superstar. He did the same thing in 2010. The Heat were horrible. He traded Shaq away. We were picking up guys like Jamario Moon to play on the Heat, bro. Just so that we can have the cap space and the money at 2010 to get the players. That's what Pat Riley does. Yeah, you can say I agree with you, Lamar, because he's not trying to win. You would go get John Morant. Then I go get John Morant right now. Why? Because John Morant has money that you don't want to give him. You don't want to spend the money. You want to have cap space for 2027 offseason. Hopefully you can
but
get.
we're not talking
Anthony
about a
Edwards.
team with two top 15 players on the roster. When we talk about the Lakers, whether they had AD and LeBron,
Bam.
or
You
whether
gotta
they
do
have
that to my
Luka,
boy Bam.
whether they
You gotta
have
do that to my
Luka,
boy Bam.
whether they have Luka and LeBron or AD and LeBron, you're dealing with always. This is an organization. When you have two top 15 players on your team, you are always trying to win. There is no trying to lose. You can't like you're always trying to win. So like the only way a team with two top 15 players try to lose is if you get rid of the two top 15 players. The Lakers have had multiple opportunities to relieve themselves of LeBron James's contract. They have not. This tells me right there that they're trying to win. Right? They drafted Bronny to keep LeBron happy. They're trying to keep their star happy. They're trying to win. Right? At the end, I just don't get the logic because none of it aligns. Because if the Lakers wanted to lose and they wanted to tank, it's very easy to do that and to get on the road of building for the future. It's very easy to do that.
But
You don't have to
they're
disguise
making
it.
it seem like.
You don't have to disguise it with these shadowy conspiracy moves that you guys are claiming.
But Lamont, they're making it seem like Clutch and LeBron has all this power. Them drafting Bronny, that comes down to Jeanie signing off on that. All these moves comes down to Jeanie sitting here saying we're doing it.
No, we've already concluded that element of this report does not seem factual. I don't believe that element of this report. I don't believe that part is factual. I believe that the only way that this article gains traction is if the writer finds a way to incorporate LeBron James. And because there are no facts tied to it, you have to put some form of subjective narrative in there that's going to spice it up. Because without LeBron James in this article, it's a very boring read. You guys were not reading about you guys were not reading about the Jeanie Buss lawsuit with her brothers. Because remember, this happened. You guys weren't doing shows about Jeanie Buss suing her brothers and all this infighting. Y'all didn't talk about this until a writer found a crafty way to incorporate LeBron James. This has been going on for years, and nobody's talked about it. It's been all y'all supposed Laker fans. This has been going on. It's been reported on by the Wall Street Journal. It's been reported on by the New York Times. No, Johnny, I'm talking about Laker fans. Laker fans, this has been happening for years. Y'all have been not talking none of this infighting until all of a sudden a writer by the name of Baxter Holmes says, you know what? I'm going to get these motherfuckers to read this article. Let me put LeBron James' name in it. And you know, it's going to be subtle. It's not going to really be direct, but I'm going to put LeBron in there. Now everybody's going to read it. And he did it, and it worked. This infighting has been going on since 2013. It said it really started in 2019. And it's been going on since then. You guys have not cared.
I just want to say something real quick. There's this one video surfacing around where LeBron was kind of like, where like Buss was sitting right next to LeBron, right? And like Jamie, and then like Buss was like trying to like lean over to LeBron, like he was trying to engage in some sexual activity. I don't know if that's a real video. I just want to see like your reaction to that.
Hold on, what'd you say you found again? What was it again?
There's a video in which like LeBron and Jeanie Buss, I think that's how you say her name. They were just sitting together and they were being very sexual. Like she was trying to lean over to LeBron, like very very close, like intimate. I swear I saw one.
Are you talking about the video with them on the sideline, or it's like a private
the
video?
national woman thing.
That was just a simple gesture between a man and woman. You never seen a man and woman have simple gesture like that before?
Yeah, but people try to intimidate that into saying, video.
I don't know why y'all be making that a big deal. It's not a
those
big deal.
are people that are real zesty. They have OnlyFans accounts and they probably spend like $100 a month for OnlyFans.
That's a fact.
But they're not basketball fans. That's just matter of fact, take note, young man. Take note. You see LeBron's posture. You see his demeanor. This is how you act as a man. You see how he makes sure there's a divided line. He doesn't lean over too much. See that? Look. He tells her, look. He doesn't move. He doesn't. See that? Look. Perfect reaction. His wife can't be upset. Perfect reaction from a married man. That's how you do it, sir. Perfect posture.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that.
Never leans over. Look at him. He speaks. Look calmly. Look. Puts his hands up. Let him know. Bitch, back up. Bitch, back up. You see that? You see that? That's how you do the shit.
Exactly. Now I'm just trying to put that up to see like what you guys got going on because I already know that's bullshit. You're trying to make something out of
Nah,
nothing. I'm just trying
we
to
over
see.
here trying to tell Limont over here that Jeanie Buss been messing up the Lakers. He want to defend Jeanie Buss today.
No, it's not about.
Wait,
This is,
wait,
but
hold
see,
on, hold
hold
on.
on one second.
Wasn't
Hold on one
LeBron?
second. DBB. Hold on. DTB. This
All
is
right, my fault,
like
my
when we
fault.
talking like if we talking real basketball, right? Because and I've been talking to everybody about GMs and front offices a lot over the last couple of weeks. I'm all for an organization, whether the move goes sour on you or not. I'm all for organization at least trying to make a change or make a move. Like I get the logic at that moment. I get the logic behind trying to acquire Westbrook to create another big three. I get the logic. Now, when I sit back and I see that it didn't work out, I try to use context and not just say, "Oh, this move didn't work out because Jeanie Buss had a psychic tell her that AD and LeBron would be constantly injured over the next 2 years, and there's no way they can win a game with Russell Westbrook on this roster, and things will look horrible." Like I believe that when you acquire a guy like Russell Westbrook in that contract, yes, you know there's a lot of risk that goes into that, but you also understand because it couldn't have been for them thinking about the future because when they made that trade for Russell Westbrook, they gave up draft capital. So when you give up that much draft capital and young players, somebody has to be thinking along the lines of this is a win now move because you gave up future assets and draft capital for this. So it just makes no sense for me to just think that, oh, this is a sabotage move because it's not a good sabotage because it's not helping you in the future and it's not helping you in the moment if you think it's a sabotage.
Oh, it helped. 10 billion. That's nice.
What did it help?
10 billion, brother.
The Lakers with or without Russell Westbrook at this stage would have still been worth 10 billion. They're the Lakers.
Nah.
When have they not been one of the highest value teams in the NBA or in the world, just in general?
No, Lamar, but you have to stay in the news. Keeping LeBron around, that's why you keep LeBron around as long as possible. They're the number one watch team in the league, Lamar.
The Lakers without LeBron James, even when they were losing for 6 years straight, were one of the highest value teams in the NBA. The Lakers, they're the Lakers. They're always gonna be one of the highest value teams in the league. They're in LA. They're the Lakers. They can go on a 10-year losing stretch and they will still have the same valuation. They're the Lakers.
I don't know about that. No. I don't know.
I guarantee you during that 6 years of losing, if I pull up their valuation, if they're not number one in the league, they're top 1, 2, or 3.
Let's look it up. What were they in what? 20.
It was probably either the Warriors or
2017. 2017 Lakers.
Yeah, I think it might have been the Warriors at that time. But.
No, we know that. Well, I'm not gonna say they were number one. I just wanted to know how. Like he said, are they top 5?
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But we was ass during that time. Like we were the.
Because you got to remember too, Lamar. It's all about what's in the books too. You're selling a team with a clean slate, nothing on the books, clean rosters, clean everything, no issues.
Can you say what they're looking for?
I'm just saying. To me, these are business moves. That's why I said it all worked out well because these are all business moves.
Hey,
everything worked out for the Lakers on the business side. Everything worked out well for them on the business side. Everything. That's the point. We can talk about the roster like we talking basketball wise. Like Lamar said, yes, this is basketball. Jeanie Buss is hiring people that's trying to win. JJ Redick's trying to win. Rob Pelinka's trying to build the roster. At the end of the day, her main focus is this ownership issue and getting the most I can out of it. Because we have to sell. We can't keep the team.
And in my opinion, I just feel like the beef wasn't needed. I mean, because LeBron
8 billion to 10. Lamar, would you agree if it went from 8 billion to 10 billion, it's a big difference?
Hold on. So we got it right here. But that's just inflation. That's just money. That's just how money works.
But then we talking business, Lamar. That's what I'm saying. She's a businesswoman.
Hold on. In 2012, the Lakers were the number one value team in the NBA at approximately $900 million. In 2013, their value goes up to $1 billion. They were number 2. They and it says they kept fluctuating according to Forbes, fluctuate up and down, 1 and 2. In 2014, their value went up. And remember, this is during the losing years. Their value went up to 1.35 billion. They're the number 2 most valuable team in the NBA. In 2015, their value goes up to 2.6 billion. They're back at number 1. In 2016, their value goes up again to 2.7 billion. But they're fluctuating from 2 to 3. They were never number 1 because it was the Warriors at that time, but they kept bouncing between 2 and 3 according to Forbes magazine. In 2017, their value goes up again to 3 billion. They're the number 3 most valuable team in the NBA. And then in 2018, their value goes up again to 3.3 billion, and they're back up to number 2 most valuable team in the NBA. So what I'm saying, all I'm saying is when you are a team like the Lakers, your value will increase just because of your cachet. You don't need to win 3-peats. You don't need 3-peats for your value to go up. People are going to buy Laker jerseys. People are going to be Laker fans because Laker fans are crazy and delusional. Their value is going to be their value no matter what. It's only a matter of time before you get good talents because you are the Lakers. You're going to get talent eventually. It's just how it works. Their value, they've always been one of the highest valuated teams in the NBA. I don't think Jeanie, it was no surprise that Jeanie would be like, yeah, we'll be worth $10 billion and we'll get a $10 billion valuation in 2026 or 2025. Well, that's just the way businesses work.
But that's my point, Lamont. Business over everything. She's trying to get that money, and she got that money. And now
why wouldn't she wait?
She could revamp.
Why wouldn't she wait to 2030? Why wouldn't she wait to 2030 when that 10 billion is probably going to be 20 billion?
Oh, because her siblings got that pressure on her. That's why Lamont. We just read
fired all her siblings. What pressure?
But they're the ones who paid this person to put this article out.
Bro, hold on. You think she cares? She fired all these siblings.
I know. Oh no! Come on, Lamont. Now we know better than this, Lamont. You should know better than this, Lamont. These are devious people. These are people that don't take losses simple and plain like that, Lamont. Come on, Lamont. So you think they just gonna walk away from her? That's it. They just gonna take their half.
I believe that billionaires have better ways to get back at you other than leaking a story to ESPN. I believe that if a billionaire wanted to get back at you, it'll probably be in a much more savage way than just leaking out a very shoddily written article on ESPN, which really does absolutely nothing other than stirs things on social media.
No, like you said, it made Jeanie look bad. Somebody who loves her PR, and the article said that she does her PR. She loves her. Again, this is looking bad for her and the Lakers.
Okay, so let's say the other brothers and sisters did this. What did they accomplish?
Mm-hmm. Oh, to them knocking down her franchise. They helping hurting the Lakers, Lamont. They're hurting the Lakers right now.
What has changed?
We're not
from
talking
the
about the Lakers in a good light. It changes. It changes. Do you think you want, just like you say, nobody want to come to Miami? Do I want to go to LA knowing that what's going on over there?
I get. No. Every player wants to come play in LA.
Oh, here you go. Where? Name him. Which guy? Name him.
Hold on. What player? Hold on. We've already heard the story.
Kawhi didn't come.
Hold on. But Kawhi came to LA. He went to the Clippers. The thing is, it's LA. Hold on. Let's not pretend like the Lakers are not the premier destination that most players want to be at. All these players want to be, unless you're just like one of those passive players and you want to be somewhere in Country Hills in Oklahoma somewhere. A lot of players want to be in the limelights. This is why what happens every time some of these young teams come into LA? You got some random off-the-wall dude dropping 30 on y'all head because they want to show the world they can hoop. It's the biggest bright light. So y'all always got everybody scrubs playing like they Michael Jordan every single night. Everybody wants the limelights of LA. Y'all turn scrubs into stars because they just love the limelights.
That don't mean shit, Lamont. They want to do that shit in the Madison Square Garden. Nobody want to go to New York because of that shit.
Because Madison Square Garden, hold on, this is not 1990. Madison Square Garden ain't the same like it used to be. The Lakers are the premier destination.
Now it's crypto. Now it's crypto.
And the crypto ain't the forum. Get out of here, man. They know for eating wine and cheese during the
Don't nobody. And the only reason why nobody wants to go to Miami right now is because Pat Riley there. You get him up out of there, everybody want to come.
That's what I'm trying. They're
gonna take your cookies away.
You see the franchises where teams want to play.
No, yes,
the
Lakers.
It ain't LA. It ain't the Lakers.
I guarantee
we're gonna
you right
see.
now.
Are we gonna see when that money's
the Lakers?
We're gonna see.
if the Lakers had $50 million in salary cap space available, and you had 20 of the bro, we all know if the Lakers got salary cap, there's a lot of people that want to be there.
They're gonna get rid of LeBron $50 million next year, Lamar. What are they gonna do with that, Lamar? Tell me, what are they gonna do with the $50 million?
But Lamar, they told us nobody wants to
Make a
play with
prediction,
LeBron.
Lamar. Let's just see it. Today is January the 22nd.
Because I don't know.
Tell us who the Lakers are gonna.
You show me a list. I don't know the free agents. I'll pull it up.
Oh, I got
we can engage it. Because hold on, who are the free agents? What year?
That's what the Zesty said. The Zesty said get rid of LeBron because his $50 million hurting the Lakers.
LeBron's contract ends when? This year or next year?
This year. That's it. He's done with the Lakers.
Okay, so that means we're looking at free agents going into this summer, correct?
That's right. They're gonna have $50 million on the books ready,
so
available.
That's 2026. Let me pull up 2026. I don't think it's a strong free agent.
They're gonna give it to Austin Reeves. They're gonna give it to Austin Reeves and leave it at that.
No, you said hold on.
Austin Reeves can't get.
Let
50.
me look at all the free agents. Okay, let's see. Unrestricted.
Let's look at that. Let's take a look.
Let me see.
I got a little list right here.
And so let's see. You have a list of who's expiring at the end of this year. Who's going to be unrestricted? I can't find it. Let me see.
I found a little list right here.
Got the list.
You got the list? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Who you got on your list? Who are the top names? I only care about the top names. I don't think it's a strong free agency class this summer anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're gonna be begging for LeBron to come back. We're gonna be like, no.
No, what I'm saying is, hold on. You just said, hey Johnny, this is your plan. Your plan is that they want to get rid of LeBron to play into this free agency class.
They are gonna get rid of him.
So who they
are gonna get rid of him.
So you tell me. We put the list back up, Olo.
I got you.
They're gonna give Austin Reeves like $20 million.
No, that's still not enough. There's still gonna be plenty of money left over. Tell us who
exactly, and then
tell us who they're gonna sign, Johnny.
Let me go.
Since it's this grand scheme to get LeBron up out of there, who are they gonna sign?
Let's them off. Hold on, let's put Olo on the big screen and move your little behind out the way, Lamar. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go to the top first. Scroll to the top so we can see the top first, so I can see this a little bit better. Okay,
that's the top.
So, Anthony Simons. The Lakers will pick him up in a heartbeat. Kobe White, another one the Lakers will give money to. No. Oh yes, I can see the Lakers doing that right now.
King Shai Solomon. You know what the Lakers should do? If the Lakers
Ruby's not available next year.
Yes, he is. He's a free agent. Yes, he's on an expiring deal.
No, it says 20.
LeBron, what should the Lakers do?
Rui's not available next year. This is wrong.
Yes, he is. Rui's 20. That's his age. He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, Rui got a contract till 2026, until after next year.
Rui's on an expiring deal. That's why his contract's valuable right now.
All right.
We just looked
so
at it.
They're gonna end up letting Rui go. That's to show you again that watch what I tell you that Rui and LeBron gone.
No, it's
right?
not about. It's not about letting Rui go. It's about Rui.
I'm telling y'all my prediction.
It's about if Rui wants to come back to the Lakers. If he's unrestricted, it's not up to the Lakers. It's up to Rui.
No, Rui's going to opt out because they're not going to sign him.
There's no opting out. He's unrestricted. There's no opting. He's going. His contract.
So he's gone. He's gone. So they're not going to re-sign him. He's gone. He ain't coming back. He gone. If they give him the money, he come back. Rui's on the Lakers.
Why would Rui want to re-sign with the Lakers if you say he's just one of those pieces they only have him there to lose anyway?
Again, if Rui demands the money that he wants and he's going to get, they're not going to get him. That's what I'm saying. They're going to let him go. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They're not even looking Rui's way. His contract's over.
Okay,
gone.
hey Johnny, remember you're the GM now.
Some other bumps.
Because it's starting to sound like, hey Johnny, if the Lakers want to lose, they should hire you as the GM. Because if you're thinking about signing Anthony Simons or Kobe White to fill a void of LeBron James,
Lamont. See, Lamont, you're a basketball fan. Lamont, you're a basketball fan. You're not a Portland Trailblazer fan. Bro. These LA fans every year think they're gonna ground up everybody in the
see John Collins on here, Kobe White.
Lamont, this is the Lakers we're talking about. Like you just said, every year their fan base think they're getting the
Johnny,
whole.
Tell us this grand scheme. Tell us. No, I want. Remember,
I'm telling you the grand scheme. I told you Kobe White is going to be available. Anthony Simons is going to be available.
Everything that Jeanie Buss is going to do. Predict who she's going to sign.
I predict her because she's wicked. That's a wicked woman. A wicked woman there, bitch. First off, these are really some horrible picks. Not even the Lakers would want. Oh, there you go, Lamont. C.J. McCollum coming to the Lakers, Lamont.
No,
CJ
C.J.
no,
McCollum,
please,
Lamont.
no,
34 year old
He's
no,
CJ
coming to the
no.
McCollum.
Lakers, Lamont.
Hold on.
C.J. McCollum.
Hold on.
Kobe White.
But Johnny, I thought you said you guys weren't investing in any short-term deals. CJ McCollum's only a 1-2 year deal there. That's not a long-term
he's
deal.
expired.
That's short term. That's what they're gonna
No,
do.
I'm
Lamont.
saying
They're not trying to sign
if
nobody
CJ's
long-term.
34, why would the Lakers take on another old player just to keep playing for the
They
short
level
game?
exception, Lamont. Yeah, they keep playing because he's gonna get a 1-year deal, Lamont.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, but you said the
I'm
long-term
in the books
deals are the
for 1
answers.
year with
Playing
him.
for the future. Who's the future? Who you putting around Luka?
Lamont, Lamont, I said the future for money, not players and assembly. No, I did. Y'all heard me say it was about a business. I said this is a businesswoman, Lamont. You keep putting words in my mouth, Lamont.
Okay. So what is your money play? So what's the money play? What's the money play?
The money play, like I told you, is you're gonna re-sign Reeves because Reeves sells tickets, so you're gonna give him the 20 million. He's cheap.
Okay.
He ain't gonna make no all
But
NBA team. He ain't
Reeves'
no
money is
all-star, he
not
ain't
really
nothing.
counting against your cap like that because you have his bird rights. So again, LeBron's 50 million is gone. You have freed up a lot of salary cap. So what I'm saying is make your move. Make your move.
His money's still gonna be a part of the money. It doesn't exclude his money. His money's still a part
Okay,
of it.
if you can't make a move, then what is Jeanie Buss' next move to be after LeBron is gone? Because now LeBron is gone. This is her grand scheme to get LeBron out. So what's the next winning? Now she's gonna get back to making winning moves. What's her winning move gonna be?
Oh, her winning move's gonna be the same thing. Lamont, she can't do nothing. She don't got no draft picks. She don't got no one to trade. Lamont, they got to pick up whatever free agents they can get, but not long term, because they only got Luka to 2028 or 2027. That's it. That's the plan, Lamont, till 2027. Lamont, you keep looking for the future. I told you she already sold for 10 billion. Now we just gonna make this last. We got Luka. What can we do to 2027?
Got Robert
Bronny.
Williams. Damn, Robert Williams 29.
Listen, Lamont, that's what you told me, that the Lakers are gonna have $50 million in free up. They're gonna be doing something to win. So where? Show me where. What's
I
the
don't.
agent class?
Hold on. First of all, I don't believe. I believe as Rich Paul
They better
said,
be begging for LeBron.
I
to come
believe that
back.
LeBron is going to retire a Laker. I don't believe like you guys are, because remember, because you slowly kind of turned into a Laker fan with the delusion of a Laker fan. So now you believe. Now you believe. I don't believe LeBron's leaving.
Lamont, I lived it for 6 months. Lamont, I lived it.
Nah, look, y'all, look.
This
is why I
waited
waited.
on Crenshaw. Lamont, remember played on Crenshaw? I lived it for 6 months, brother.
No, but look, at the end of the day, look, this is why I just let the cards play out how they play out, because I don't like going into these conversations with teams saying that, yeah, this GM is like, bro, I get that there's some good, I think there are good GMs and bad GMs. And I think in this NBA, the bad GMs are going to make bad moves and good GMs are going to find a way to consistently make good moves, right? Like, I guarantee you, if the Lakers hired the Golden State Warriors former GM, all of a sudden smart moves will start getting made. It's a job that requires talent. Just because you're not talented at your job doesn't mean you're conspiring to lose. It just means you're trash. Like if somebody's trash at basketball, for example, give me somebody that is trash that we know is trash for sure. Like, you know, if somebody's trash at basketball, I don't care how many times he plays you one-on-one, he's gonna lose. He might be trying to win. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. King Speech Row. I'm saying King Speech Row. He could play me a million times.
70% from the free throw line.
But just because he loses, so if he loses 20 times in a row, does it justify him saying, yeah, I'm trying to lose? No, you're just trash. It's just hard for me.
So for you, Pelinka's a good GM to you.
Well, the only time I gave Pelinka his flowers, y'all, because obviously you have to give him his smoke for the Russ trade, even though I do get the logic. But what I gave him his flowers for was his ability to get off Russell Westbrook's contract and recoup some of the assets that they lost, and bring in pieces that did help them get to the Western Conference Finals. I said I have to give him an A+ on that, because I didn't think he would be able to get that much back for Russ.
What about the AD trade, Lamont?
And so, I mean, the AD trade was. I don't think that was very difficult. Yeah. AD wants to come to the Lakers, make it happen. I mean, come on, man. That's not rocket science there. I'm talking about post 2020 championship, right? Post 2020 championship, I would give Pelinka probably a C+, right? And I think his grade is a little bit lower, mostly because of acquiring Russ, but then you did recover a little bit by what you got back from Russ. And so, I mean, they're fixing their mistakes. They made a mistake, they're fixing it. That's all you can do.
Jeannie's a wicked woman.
What's up, Lamont? How you doing, brother?
What up? I just don't think I don't think that Jeanie is in this. I don't think if I had to bet money on it, I would probably say that there's zero beef between Jeanie Buss and LeBron James. I think that part of the story was fabricated.
Yep.
I agree with you there. I don't think she has no problem.
What do you believe in?
I don't think she has a problem with LeBron.
He's not over. Yeah.
I don't think she has a problem with LeBron. That I don't think so. I think she's using LeBron. To be honest, I think LeBron don't like her.
Well, I mean, of course, any GM is using all their players. You better. I mean, you of course you're using them. LeBron is your cash cow. LeBron is your cash cow. That's your job to use them. So I don't blame him for that.
Yeah. I just think at the end of the day, like one move doesn't define like a GM. Like the Russ trade, I don't think it defines Rob Pelinka. Even though it was a stupid move, at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. It's one trade, you know.
Yeah, but we can look to every team in the league that's made, like, for example, the Memphis Grizzlies made a dumb move firing their coach. The Denver Nuggets made a dumb move firing their coach. I mean, but the last time I checked it looks like Denver's still trying to win, even though they made a dumb move. Like, you know, with Memphis right now, I mean, you can't win because, you know, Ja Morant then went rogue on you. You made a bad move and committing all that money to Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, it's starting to look like they're trying to think of ways to fix it, but, you know, they're in a bad situation.
Yep. I mean, Coward and Edie have been looking good, but the rest of their core shit just isn't good enough. Especially
I mean, they drafted
in this
well. You know, they got the youngster nobody knew about, so he's going to be good. But, I mean,
that's what happened. You fire the coach, then you let Dylan Brooks go, then you let Bane go. Brandon Clark's never healthy. Oh, yeah, it's a whole franchise in disarray.
Nah, that's them that's just trying. Like Lamont said, they trying to win. They trying. They just didn't work out. Nah, they just trying.
Who are you talking about?
The Memphis Grizzlies. I tell y'all, there's certain teams that don't be trying to win.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Last year, Memphis had a winning record going into the playoffs. The way they look now is not what they were looking like last year, right? Obviously, there was a rift with the front office and the head coach, and whatever was going on, they said it couldn't be tolerated no more, so they got rid of him like that, and that's the move they went with. But again, a bad GM doesn't think this through. They make irrational moves without thinking about how is this going to impact Ja Morant. Ja Morant didn't take a liking to that move. Now the guys that you got left over, Ja Morant's beefing with, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. has not looked the same since the move. You know, so at the end of the day, sometimes a front office will do dumb stuff with no plan. It is not because they don't want to win. It's just because there are some front offices that are dumb and there are some front offices that are good. That's the only difference.
Lakers office suck. That's why I'm not a Laker fan. I tried that shit for 6 months. Y'all suck. The Lakers suck. Let's go Heat.
I'd rather be a Laker fan than a Heat fan.
All I know is the Lakers. We still got 6 times more championships.
Hey, but according to what's his name? Who was there? According to Big Assassin, y'all best play. I mean, y'all in Destiny too. Y'all best player is Norman Powell. Was that Big Assassin?
I'm telling you, that's why we let go of Jimmy Butler for the same reasons. We didn't want to give Jimmy Butler no extensions because we're trying to hold cap and hold money because we want to. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be obviously in the apron and then mess up everything. So we let Jimmy go, mess up our franchise. Yeah, we get Norman Powell. Guess what, Lamar?
But
Norman
that's
Powell
not where y'all traded Jimmy. That's not where y'all traded Jimmy. It wasn't because of money.
It's
Bro,
business. Business, man.
Let's just be real, bro. Let's just be real. Pat Riley made a big mistake letting Jimmy Butler go because of his freaking ego.
No,
let's just be real.
Once the relationship got soured, because there were trade rumors coming up. Jimmy Butler was like, why are you guys not putting these fires out? Y'all know I'm not demanding a trade. Y'all just letting this shit get reported. And then the rift started when he didn't feel like the organization had his back. He's like, y'all letting these motherfuckers say I'm demanding a trade. I'm not demanding a trade. And so he felt like there was a rift there. That's called Pat Riley being a bad president. That motherfucker didn't know how to stand up for one of his players in the media. And so he created his own rift. Then Jimmy Butler,
let's be
then
real
the relationship
about
got sour. That wasn't no money play.
Well,
that was just them being dumb.
Let me ask Johnny this question, though, since you're a Heat fan. If you had the choice, would you fire Pat Riley at this stage and bring in a new general manager?
Pat Riley's a part owner. You ain't getting rid of him. He got to pass away.
Well, no, I'm
ain't
saying.
going nowhere.
If you ask me, it's no. Again, we Miami fan. We from Miami, man. 305 all day, man. We got Pat Riley. We ride with Spo, man. Whatever it is, win, lose, we going with Spo with them, man.
For sure.
I be asking you, come on, man. Ask them about his Trailblazers. Let's see what his Trailblazers should do.
Nobody, but nobody wants to go to Miami right now because of Pat Riley.
Exactly.
When we talk about Portland, now, for example, Portland was on a path of being destitute for years. Then they sold the team. Now we got new people in there. And what do we see? They all of a sudden started building a defensive team. They're adding key pieces, and now they're looking like potentially in the next 5 years, once they're able to pull the trigger or make the right trades, they can start competing. They're setting a foundation. But they're not staying on this path of signing complete bums like Evan Turner for $70 million. All right, and somebody like we're not doing that no more.
we actually play out tonight, Lamar. We actually play out tonight. 8 o'clock your time.
Another win for Portland.
The next hour.
Not settling for mediocrity.
Evan Turner.
Hold on. Check this out. Hey, Olo, if I tell you the names of the players, I want you to listen. Let me pull up these names of players that Portland gave.
For the roster?
No. If I tell you some of the signings that the old regime made, bro, are you gonna laugh? Right? Watch this. Wait, let me pull this up.
He's so stupid. Hey, look, all this is stupid. But Jeanie Buss, but Lamar love him some Jeanie, boy.
No, what I'm saying.
Lamar wish he was LeBron sitting between Jeanie and the other white lady.
No, but what I'm saying. But my same.
Johnny, we all had a picture of Jeanie at one point.
My same. Hold on one second, y'all. My same logic still applies. The logic is when the Portland Trailblazers were bad, it's because they were making bad moves. They just had a whole bunch of idiots running the show. And it's not like you're trying to be like the Portland Trail. These motherfuckers really thought that they were making good moves. These were horrible moves, and they were not working out. That's because they had people didn't know what they were doing. So it just gets to a point where you have to get people in that know what they're doing. Right. And that's why we questioned Rob Pelinka, because the first thing we said was, why would you bring a GM in that has horrible relationships with all the rest of the GMs in the NBA? You're never going to be able to get any legitimate deals done. Right. So, again, was that a bad move? Jeanie Buss, according to this article, he was part of her inner circle. She could trust him. That's why she kept him around so long. So.
And we know why he was a part of the circle is because of Kobe Bryant. It was Kobe Bryant agent.
So here's some. Hold on, there's more.
See, she don't want LeBron to get that fifth. That's why we walking away next year. Let's go. Taking all LeBron fans there too, so he can just be with those zesty beans over there in the LA County. Good luck, Juan Boy, New World, and Olo.
That don't mean nothing, JJ. She ain't that old.
She said JJ. Yeah. Hey JJ, that don't mean shit.
I would like to say that this is the reason why I came up, because I seen the ungrateful pick.
They
So
did it. She got 75, man.
I want to comment.
She overstepped,
Actually,
man.
I was sitting here thinking like, there's a lot of people who give credit to even coaches that he played with, or that try to coach LeBron, that honestly they don't have no coaching background, no history in coaching, and then we supposed to give them credit because as LeBron was on the team, they're going to the finals with him. And honestly, I don't think them coaches deserve any credit. I ain't gonna say any credit, but it's not as much as a credit if it was Pat Riley. If Pat Riley was coaching, then I'd give Pat Riley some credit, more credit than I would give Eric Spoelstra. People give Eric Spoelstra Eric Spoelstra was a cameraman. And so I think a lot of people, they are ungrateful for what he did do for either the teams that he played for, the organizations, some coaches, players. There's a lot of people who making money off of just because they played with him for a couple of seasons and did good.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, they are ungrateful to the king. They are ungrateful to the king. The king did a lot, man, for a lot of these franchises, man. A lot of people, man.
I don't like for example, I don't believe Miami. I think Miami and LeBron might have clashed, but I don't think nobody from Miami would say they're ungrateful or LeBron's ungrateful. I would say the same thing with Cleveland. I'm saying the same thing with LA, right? I think LeBron and LA may have clashed, different philosophies. That's what you're supposed to do when you're trying to win. Because if you're not trying to win, there's no clashing. Right? There's no need to clash. Right? We're just going to get you up out of here because you're doing too much. You're trying to do too much winning. Why do you think the Clippers got rid of Chris Paul? That motherfucker was trying to win.
It's the Clippers. Told you it's the Clippers.
Chris
They
Paul
always
had to
do
go
something.
to the Rockets.
The Clippers don't know how to keep winning people in around them. So they get rid of, they bring in the loser. Like Kawhi Leonard. They brought in a Kawhi Leonard. Right?
People that's going to hold other people accountable.
They brought in a Paul George.
This is not because they're trying to lose. It's just because they don't know how to win. They're bad at their job.
And there's not enough people holding them grown men accountable. So the coaches are supposed to hold them accountable. But if the coach ain't holding the star players accountable, or even the role players that's coming off the bench accountable, you're going to have bullshit teams. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And that's what's going on in the NBA. There's not enough accountability for the defense, the lack of defense, the lack of understanding just simple defensive roles and where you supposed to be at, how you supposed to be there, not overshadowing on the pick and rolls and all that stuff. There's so much that goes on. That's why they say that the EuroLeague people are coming in with more fundamentals. Because the EuroLeague, they're just going off basic basketball, and then we got a whole bunch of Americans who are paying to play, and they are being taught certain skills to just know how to shoot, or just know how to sit in the corner, or just know how to do this certain style, and it ain't working out for their career.
Do you know why American players, as soon as their time is up in the NBA, they go over to the EuroLeagues and look like absolute gods on the basketball court?
Yeah, I bet.
That shit is trash over there, bro. I don't care how many
No,
for
real, yeah, for sure.
Them boos are some bums, man. They bums. You can make it look good. You can say they got fundamentals. Those dudes are not close to being better than no American players. Even if this is why the sorriest players. I'm talking about if you look at guy like who was the guy on the Lakers, y'all? What's his name? Motherfucker.
Robert Sacre.
No, not Robert Sacre. He played last year. The young dude. Cam.
Cam Reddish?
Christian Coloco?
No, Cam Reddish. Bro, Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish
played in Duke with Zion and RJ.
He has went overseas and he is looking like Michael Jordan on all types of steroids. Could not get in an NBA game and do nothing. All these guys, man, we can.
Yeah, that's a fact.
All these fundamentals. I keep telling y'all, fundamentals is for guys that sit on the end of the bench, man. That shit is for
bums. Hey, but you gotta think. Hold on, one time. Hold on.
Why you gotta be that harsh, man?
This is what I say though to that. That's where I'm talking about. Just the bench players, they lost the fundamentals.
No, they didn't.
A lot of the bench players just don't have certain fundamentals, bro.
Bro, yes, they do have it. You cannot be
You can't be a basketball player.
Bro, in the NBA, bro, I you know how many college players with elite fundamentals would make the NBA if it was about having fundamentals? If you can't jump run, and do all this crazy stuff. You're not making this. Like fundamentals does not work against good players. Like for example,
Okay, so
we saw
I got an
we
example.
saw
Go ahead.
Elijah Arenas last night, right? And we saw that big man, right? Elijah Arenas' second bucket of his college career. That big man said, "You know what? Elijah Arenas is driving at me. I'm gonna jump up perfectly. I'm gonna be fundamental, go vertical." This motherfucker Elijah Arenas did a 360 layup and laid that shit up on his head, bro. What the fuck is fundamentals doing, man? When you got motherfuckers jumping circles out here, that shit
So
don't work.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example. So JJ Redick, they asked JJ Redick about he was talking about a player, and he was saying that they when they went down to the bench, they drew up a 1-3-1 defense, and the guy said and the certain player on one side ran the defense correctly, but as soon as JJ set them down and flipped the entire play, the certain player wasn't able to do it.
Hold on, y'all. Hear him out, y'all. No, I want to hear him out. I'm trying to hear him out. I can't hear him, y'all, because y'all laughing.
So I don't.
Say it again. No, say it again. I wanted to hear you out. I couldn't.
Certain fundamentals is if JJ Redick is if he's getting up there and saying, if I drew up a defensive play and a certain player is able to run it as I drew it up, but all I did was flip the play. So you're going to go stand on the other side of the court and do the same thing, and the player could not do it. And the player looked at it and said, "Where was I supposed to be?" This is the problem that that I'm discussing. The fact that if there's if there's not a lack of fundamentals, and if I draw up a play on one side, you should be able to run the exact same play on the other side.
That's not fundamentals. Your ability to retain plays is something different from fundamentals. That's just about retention. And secondly,
retention is retention on play is fundamental basketball.
This is where y'all don't put smoke. This is where y'all don't put enough smoke on coaches. Because this is what I would like when you gave me that example. Here's the first thing that I'm asking.
LeBron said on this podcast,
I don't care. No, what I'm saying is the first question I'm going to ask JJ Redick is, why are you having to draw up a 1-3-1 zone in a huddle, and you guys haven't repped this out and practiced it already? You should just be able to tell your team, we going into this 1-3-1. Get in it. Right, because we've repped it out enough in practice where you know how to run it like the back of your hand. If you are I'm telling you right now, if you are in a huddle and your coach draws up a random zone that you guys have never ran before in the middle of a game, y'all probably about to lose that game. Because if you're a zone coach, hold on, Black Sam, hold on. I'm telling you right now, zones are not meant to be drawn up and ran sporadically. You like, for example, when the Miami Heat were running the zone with like Spoelstra reps this stuff out in practice. You don't just run zones just to run a sporadic zone because I drew it up in the huddle. If you draw up a zone in a huddle, expect for that zone to look absolute trash. So, I mean, that's JJ's fault. So this is where I say, where's your smoke for the coach who is trying to draw up random zones that you haven't repped out in practice and then getting mad because it don't look right?
So I got a question. Me or you don't know if they was repping them out in practice. And so if you have bench players who are coming on and off the bench, and they absolutely hold on, let me land, brother. If you have bench players who are coming on and off the bench, a couple of them probably just don't know where their role is to be at. So if I come and sit down and tell you, look, we're finna run this play. This is the play that we've been practicing. And so then the next time we sit down, I run the same play but opposite, and you can't do it. This is a fundamental. This has nothing to do with the coach, brother. This is a retention of a plays of the player.
Black Sam, you just said JJ had to draw it up in the huddle. If they've repped it out in practice, why the hell would he need to draw it up in the huddle?
But you have a Luka Doncic. LeBron had just came back from being hurt, so this is not something that was like yesterday or a couple of days ago. This is like when LeBron had first came back from injury, and they were trying to figure out rotations. They were trying to figure out different things. And so as he was drawing, regardless of why was he drawing up, I understand your point. If this shit should be already understood. Just like an OKC, when that man throw his hands up and say, "Hey, we doing this," they already know what to do. But the problem is that you have a lot of players, particularly on the Lakers. Some of them just don't know where to be on the field.
That's coaching.
On the court.
That's coaching.
May I though, Lamar? May I, Lamar? Hey,
Okay.
but black. If I've heard LeBron say what you say, and I've also heard Gilbert Arenas say this before. That's the majority of NBA players. That's nothing to do with the Lakers. Most players just can't flip a play, right? So they only could do like how Lamont said, what was repped, right? I know the play because we repped it for it to be ran on this side. Like I'm on the right side of the floor. I never done it on the left side. Some players just can't do that. That was one of the things LeBron said. I was able to do that since I was in grade school, whatever. But either way,
That's fundamental basketball, brother.
No, it's
that's not
not.
fundamental, sir. That's not considered fundamental, sir. That's not fundamentals. Fundamentals is other things. Fundamentals is understanding your footwork, bro. Fundamentals is understanding, you know what I'm saying, but like time, possession, stuff like
Textbook
that.
shooting form.
So
Yeah, shooting form,
understanding your
dribbling,
playbook is not
skills.
not fundamental. Understanding your playbook ain't fundamental.
No, but remember that's not in your playbook. He just said we flipped it. It's not in your playbook. That's what he's trying to say. This is not a play that they run. When you say you flipping it, you just told him we're just flipping the play. Like JJ Redick knows that there's a lot of players who can't comprehend that. It's hard enough to understand the offense.
Thank you, Ghost Rider. That's your basketball IQ. Like it's not a lot of, and this goes to coaching because the coach is supposed to know your team. If you know very early on, if you got a team that can run complex sets like that and you can flip stuff on the fly, if you know this is not part of your team's mental makeup, then simplify it and run what's a part of their makeup. This is what I mean by y'all need to start giving these coaches smoke because you don't sit there like as a player, if you are getting desperate and you all of a sudden in the huddle drawing up a 1-3-1 zone just randomly out the blue because our defense that we've repped out all year in practice ain't working. This is called a coach panicking. You're panicking, doing something dumb, just like JJ panicked in the playoffs last year and didn't make no substitutions, just like JJ panicked last year and ran a stupid 2-3 zone against the goddamn Minnesota Timberwolves, which made Rudy Gobert look like goddamn Moses Malone all of a sudden. So at the end of the day, coaching can screw you up because you start doing a whole bunch of stuff that your team hasn't repped out. And when you don't rep out stuff, if you don't rep out a 2-3 zone, then you have a system that allows Rudy Gobert to look like he's a top 5 player in the league offensively. That's how they had him looking. But there's no smoke for JJ, right? We don't have to throw no smoke there. JJ be sounding smart as hell sometimes. He be doing too much. JJ does too much. When you got LeBron and Luka, you don't need to do too much. Sit your ass back. Do a lot of read and react stuff. You don't need to be doing all this flipping. Vando, you go over here. Simplify this shit. You're doing too much.
Doing it on purpose, Lamar. Tell you, sabotage, brother.
No, that's just JJ doing it. It's not sabotage. It's just some coaches don't know how to get out of their own way. They be trying to do too much. Calling too many plays. You don't need an extensive playbook to be good in NBA. You only got 24 seconds to score. How many plays do we really need? Oh, come on, man. No.
I just think JJ is just like I just feel like he's overthinking it. You know, like there's certain plays that just don't need to be ran, especially with Luka and LeBron. Where he's
but this is what happens when you panic. Like if you look at their last win against Denver, what did they do? What was their main focus against Denver? They didn't add 15 plays in to be better offensively. They turned up the defense. They said our defense is going to create us easier looks. So if we find a way to defend Murray better, we're naturally going to get better looks on the offensive end. So they said we're going to focus on one side of the ball and we're going to let LeBron and Luka do them because they're smart enough players to figure it out in more simple sets. Jackson Hayes is not a very complex player. That motherfucker can jump over everybody. Run him to the rim. Not too difficult. Figure out actions where we get him in split action. He's going to the rim. Not rocket science.
Yeah, we was able to get out and transition a lot more too.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent, great corner three-point shooter. Find sets that flare him to the corner. I can run hammer screens. I can do silly stuff. I don't need to make this. It's not very hard.
Find a way to blitz Jamal Murray. Try to box him. Like do sets like that.
Oh, those double teams on Murray was elite, bro.
Yep.
And then the rotations. There was one late game rotation where Brian went to go bleach Murray, and then who was the what's his name? The white guy, the other white guy. What's his name? I forget his name. LaRavia. That motherfucker LaRavia came over, got a hand on ball. They got a steal. They was off to the races, and I said that is coaching.
Yeah.
That's good coaching, right?
Yeah, it is. It was good coaching. That's all we got to do. We just got to lock in defensively.
You said there's a clip of Darvin Ham writing something on the court. a whole bunch of bullshit. That's what it was.
But some of the best timeouts are timeouts where you don't need to draw up something every single timeout. Sometimes you just have to reconfirm your core principles and messages. You don't need to draw up plays the players get tired of that dumb shit. They are not trying to see a whole bunch of plays every time they go in that huddle. Maybe somebody needs to get cussed out.
That makes sense, Lamont. Exactly what you said. You said, okay, let me make sure I got grasp what you said, right? That makes sense. You say because if Bron coming back and he and JJ don't kind of know what defensive set or what defensive work or whatever, then yeah, when they went to the bench, he's panicking, don't know what to do. And so he draws something up and flipping it, and then motherfuckers is off, the players is messed up. I understand that point.
Well, I think Black Sam, and I haven't corrected you yet because I've just been letting you rock out with it. But they were talking about an offensive play. There's no really flipping a 1-3-1 zone because you know what happens when you flip a 1-3-1 zone? It's still a 1-3-1 zone. It don't look no different. So at the end of the day, they were talking about offense. They weren't talking about defense.
No, they were talking about a defensive play. It was defense, bro.
Oh my God.
Come on, man.
You made him get up and walk out, boy.
It's offensive plays. It's offensive set. Sometimes you run.
You kidding me?
What they call them the ATOs, the out of bounds plays. What they call the out of bounds plays? When you inbound plays, what they call them again?
Hold on, we're gonna draw it up. For him. We're gonna use the whiteboard. Hold on, let me use the whiteboard.
Oh, we're gonna bring the Lamont. Got to bring the whiteboard. Coach Lamont.
We got something better than film.
Let Lamont Lane.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. How you share my? Let me share my screen real quick. Hold on. Let me share my screen.
I don't know how you share your screen, Lamont.
No, I was just talking to myself.
I don't know. I got you, bro. I'm just messing with you.
All right, here we go right here, y'all.
This Jeanie Buss.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Watch this, y'all. Hold on, watch this. So now we got
wicked woman.
Hold on. Now we got. So we're gonna set our court up right. We got our 3-point line. Boom. All right. So the 1-3-1. You know what? We're gonna put a Jeanie at the top. We're gonna put King Shy Solomon in the back. All right, we're gonna put me on the wing. King Rowe Speech is a big guy, so we're gonna put King Speech Rowe in the middle, right? And let's put Black Sam. We're gonna put Black Sam over here. This is our 1-3-1, y'all. Now we know that the purpose of a 1-3-1 is to, and let me move this right here. So we know that the purpose of a 1-3-1 is to push the ball back and forth. Now Black Sam, I'm the coach, all right, Black Sam. And this is you, Black Sam. And when we go to the huddle, Black Sam, I said, Black Sam, I want you to flip the 1-3-1. That means, Black Sam, I want you to swap with I want you to swap. I want you to go. Now I want Black Sam over here while the other guy comes over here. What are we in now? If we flip it, Black Sam, if we flip it.
It's the same defense, brother.
So look, if I go from here to here, so you telling me, because we still got King Speech in the middle. We got King Shy Solomon at the bottom. So you telling me that NBA play that JJ Redick said, I want y'all to flip the 1-3-1. And they couldn't figure out how to swap one side to another, right?
So even what I have up right here, I ain't gonna keep going back and forth with you, but it is what it is.
I want you to explain to me how you flip it.
Hold on, I'm finna explain it to you. I have it up, so all you gotta do is show it.
You can just tell me. I got the whiteboard.
When JJ Redick was describing the plays, he was talking about defense. Here's the article. Here's Gemini. I tell you, but I could pull up the actual video too of when he was talking. He wasn't talking about an offense. He was talking about defense. And he was frustrated at the fact that when he called a certain defensive play, there were a particular player or players that if I call a simple 1-3-1 or 3-2, and I'm telling you to line up over here, and I say flip it, that means that if you was lined up over here at first, hold on, one time, let me finish.
No,
Black. So that means if you was lined up on the left wing
what
at
you're doing?
first,
Can I correct you?
Like
Sam, look, you're mixing up two different topics. So there was a conversation where LeBron James was on the podcast with JJ Redick.
No, this is not. This is after the podcast,
Black,
brother.
Please,
We're talking
please,
about two different.
hold. You're mixing up two different conversations because there was a conversation that JJ Redick was having with LeBron James about offense, and in that conversation, LeBron James was talking about his ability, right, to understand how to flip an offensive play because in offense, flipping an offensive play does actually matter. You just said JJ Redick, because if JJ Redick is dumb enough to go on camera to say that I told the guys to get into a 1-3-1, right? We got King Shai Solomon, we got X player over here, we got another player over here, we got a guy in the middle, and JJ Redick is literally going to a huddle saying, I want these two guys to flip. What are we doing in the timeout other than wasting time?
Okay, so let me finish what I was saying. So the podcast that you're referring to, that's because you're targeting the podcast because when LeBron was talking about the podcast, he was talking about offense.
Bro, can you just tell me how to flip a 1-3-1 zone?
When I came up here, I particularly targeted defense, and you wanted to say that it was offense. I said it was defense.
Can you tell me?
And it was after a certain game.
Okay,
it was with the Bucks.
Bump. Let's just scratch what JJ Redick said. It's just me and you talking. We got the whiteboard right here. So look, I'm gonna take off the. I'm gonna remove this. So we got our point guard up top. We got our shooting guard over here. We got a small forward. We're gonna put our center in the middle of the 1-3 zone because you want center toes to the 3-point line. We're gonna put our power forward in the back. Okay, now if I go into the huddle and I say, "Hey guys, we need to flip the 1-3-1 zone." So
that
tell me how we flip it.
We're gonna take the small forward.
Yeah.
So if the small forward was standing on this side.
Yeah.
I want you to come stand on this side. That means you're going to switch with the shooting guard.
Okay, so hold on.
And this is for a particular. Hold on. This is
hold on. Let's go one step at a time. So instead of the small forward, so we're going to move the small forward over here, and we're going to put the shooting guard over there. Okay, now, and then we still got our center in the middle, and we got our power forward in the back. What does that accomplish?
So I'm finna show you what it accomplished. Because I'm pretty sure you're a great basketball man.
Talk to me.
So if the offense is a bigger person, or if they're attacking a certain side, I'm probably going to want a taller player over there. So if my tallest player is out of these people is a small forward, and he's standing over on the left side, I want him to come stand.
Hold on. That's
hold
a great.
Brother, hold on.
No, hold on, Black Sam. Hold Black Sam. We got to go
bro,
1 point at a time.
Bro.
No, 1 point at a time. So you guys, you heard what he said. So he said.
This is the same point, bro. Why you gotta mute me, bro?
Please, because I'm talking to the people. So you guys, he just said the small forward here is too tall, and this team keeps attacking this side of the floor. So they flipped it. So they put the small forward over here. But here's the problem: as soon as the offense comes down and they see the small forward over here, they're just gonna attack this side. And you still have the same problem. You flipped it, and you still have the same problem.
Okay, so now can I talk without getting muted, my boy? Because it ain't gonna do nothing but make the frustration. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even that.
No, bro.
So
We're trying to talk real basketball.
If I recognize, hold on one time, bro. If I recognize, at one time, bro. If I recognize that a team is attacking one side with a certain length of players, and I tell them, hey, flip it. So if I put the shooting guard on the other side, well, guess what? Mentally, I know that the offensive player on the other side is probably ain't as tall.
So tell me where to put the shooting guard. Tell me where to put the shooting guard. Tell me where to put the shooting guard. Tell me where to draw him up on the board. Right here, shooting guard. Okay. Where does everybody else go? Because you just said flip it. Right. Point guard, obviously at the top or fastest player. Small forward on this wing.
Brother, it could go exactly.
Let's go center right here. Let's go power forward in the back. Now, and we
exactly how you had it.
Hold on. So for example, now typically you guys, I'm just going to go with a standard offense to attack the 1-3-1. So 1-3-1, y'all. A standard offense to attack the 1-3-1 is anything that's 2-1-2. So a 2-1-2 offense would look like this. You have an offensive player right here, offensive player right here, offensive player right here, offensive player right here, and you usually will put an offensive player right here. This is just one way, so it looks like the number 5 on the dice, right? And so this is one way to attack it, right? Not the perfect way, right? But this is one way to attack it. And there are a lot of things that you can do out of here. Now,
okay, so let's stop right here. Now, let me explain
hold on,
right
please.
Here.
No, okay, hold on. Okay, so my offense is set, right? My offense is now set. I'm always going to be in my 4-out, 1-in offense while you're in your 1-3-1. Now, if my offense is set 4-out, 1-in, how is you flipping your 1-3-1 changing anything?
You ready for me to talk?
Yes. How is you flipping?
So again, I think you're stuck on this flipping part because it ain't really a flip if I just tell the small forward to go to the left and I tell the shooting guard to go to the right.
So what's the whole point of you even bringing this up for like a half hour? You just came up here to try to sound smart. You sound dumb as shit.
That's what he was trying to get you to understand the entire time, brother. The entire time.
We went through this for a half an hour. Had a good
you
show
got it
before
done
you came
though.
up here.
You got it done. We got him to understand that. Good shit.
Damn.
At the end of the day, Big Black Sands, at the end of the day, none of this is fundamental. This has nothing to do with fundamentals. This is basketball IQ. It's not really fundamental, which is the whole point of everything I'm trying to say.
Hold
It's
on.
not about
What is basketball? Hold on. What's the difference?
It's definitely not fun. No, because it's definitely not fundamental if you got to switch on the fly.
Hold on, let me say. What's fundamental is jumping off the right foot, sir. Right? Like these are the things that you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just it's fundamentals in basketball. You shoot with your elbow in. These are fundamentals.
Hold
you know
on.
what I'm saying?
Playing off 2 feet is fundamental. Not doing 1-foot passes or jump passes like Johnny says. That's the problem with that is the best passers and the best players are not fundamental. All of the passes that made Magic Johnson are not fundamental passes. Yeah. That's why he was Magic.
There ain't no fundamental passes.
Even when you go to Larry Bird and Dirk Nowitzki would shoot 1-foot fadeaways falling backwards. Not fundamental. Michael Jordan, athleticism out the wazoo. Not fundamental. All of the best players, LeBron James with his crab dribble and just bullying and athleticism, not fundamental. Again, all of the best players.
So fundamental is a technical skill. Right?
Fundamentals, you guys.
Fundamental is a technical skill. And IQ is a mental skill, correct?
Something wrong upstairs.
Boy, this is like first grade education.
Hey, look, he's trying to explain. This is what he's trying to explain to you, Mr. Sam. He's trying to explain that when you're a top player, the stuff that you do on the court, for example, like he was talking about LeBron's crab dribble, that's not a fundamental basketball move. They're gonna when you're growing up and you're talking about basketball fundamentals, they're not saying, hey, when you come down the court, let's go get my defender in jail and do what LeBron does. That's what he's trying to explain to you.
Yeah. Again, fundamentals are just basics of basketball. That's pretty much what they are.
All players in America have that. The problem is the fundamentals no longer get you to the NBA. You have to now, like for example, they're teaching a snake dribble to middle school and high schoolers now. It used to be a point in time where the snake dribble was reserved for pros, but the game has evolved so much and the fundamentals are being taught so early that you got to start if you a small guard, you got to put that snake dribble in your game like right now. Like if you in 5th grade, you better start learning how to snake dribble. Like this is what I'm saying is these kids know the fundamentals. They learn this stuff early. Y'all pretend that they don't. The problem is these fundamentals no longer work. Y'all be getting out barbecue. Bro, there's a video of this little girl, and I feel bad. I would play the video. Bro, this little girl's out there trying her hardest to set the best, most fundamental screens, bro. And she just running out there, bro, just setting screens on just straight air, bro, looking crazy out there, bro. Fundamental than a motherfucker, though, but just looking crazy. And her mom's on the camera yelling, set the screen, set the screen. She's just out there looking dumb as hell. Hold on, I'm going to find the video. I'm going to find the video.
That's what happens when you don't. This is what happens when you don't study the game of basketball. You just come up here and get made a mockery of. Now we gotta go to something.
Set a screen.
Now we gotta go into.
Set a screen.
You see, Lamont, though, even in today's basketball, kids are learning how to shoot at an early age and learning how to dribble at professional type dribbling. We never learned that kind of stuff when we was growing up playing basketball.
Oh no.
Yeah, but they physically training too, man. I see
exactly physical
training
too.
And you better not try and learn that junk back then.
Yeah, this kid in 8th grade, man. He dunking like he already in college already, man.
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing to do with no fundamentals.
Man, you got
Fundamentals is
12-year-olds doing
Coach Carter.
windmills
It's very
nowadays.
simple.
Coach Carter is
Here's
fundamental.
the deal.
You got 12-year-old. You got
12-year-olds
but-
out here doing
but here's the
windmills,
thing.
one boy.
Yeah,
But here's the
not
thing, though,
fundamental
guys. Here's
about
the
that.
thing. At the end of the day, you can have all the fundamentals that you want, but if you're not the most gifted athletically and the most skilled in your position, you're not gonna have a chance. I don't care what kind of fundamentals you have.
Yeah, look at
No,
Kevin Love.
it used to be a point in time where, you know, if you got to the 8th grade and you had all of your fundamentals locked in before everyone else, it made you a better player. The problem is just now just being ahead of the game in fundamentals used to put you ahead. That no longer works. You can have all your fundamentals lined up by the 8th grade and be the worst player in the gym now, because now people have already gotten to the fundamentals and now they starting to layer on all the extra stuff on top of it. The snake dribbles, the crab dribbles, the crossovers, the in and out dribbles, just everything. And they're adding IQ because they're studying what the pros are doing. They're moving like pros. So again, you have to now compound your fundamentals with all types of elite NBA level moves at an earlier age. Now, this is why the game don't look so fundamental anymore, because the players are getting more advanced at an early age. So that's the only thing that's changing. And this is why, like I said, if you got a kid, do not teach your kid fundamentals early, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. But after that, boy, they better really start getting to it. They better start getting to it. Boy, they better start getting to it quick.
Yep.
Or your kid gonna be out
Otherwise,
there
they're gonna
crazy.
be behind. They're gonna be behind if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
But let me ask you this, Scott. Let me ask you a question in relating to what you're seeing in college basketball. That Boozer kid from Duke. How do you rate him so far?
I mean, I don't want to rate college players right now. I don't really want to get in that conversation because the conversation was on the Lakers and we got away from that.
Okay.
So I want to stay.
Yeah.
I want to stay on the line of the Lakers and obviously with Jeanie Buss, because we were talking about, for the people that are just joining, we were talking about Jeanie Buss, her connection, obviously it is in Johnny's his thought process is that he does not believe the Lakers are being genuine in their efforts to win another championship, which again, based on some of the moves, I understand how one could come to that conclusion, because when some of these moves had just been horribly panned out, they just did not pan out very well. So you can get the sentiment, but but I just don't get these fans, the lazy fans who have taken this as a new way to just throw more shots at LeBron James, even though when you read the article, you can clearly see it has nothing to do with LeBron James.
It's more or less of the fact about the Buss family and everything else, the drama behind it. More or less of that fact, and how LeBron got dragged into it by not even his own fault. Because remember, when Jeanie Buss took control of the team, her brothers tried to take control from the team, because there was a lot of power struggle issues after Dr. Buss died.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's been a power dynamic with the Lakers organization for a long time. When Dr. Buss died, Jeanie Buss became the team governor, and then after that, Jim Buss was running basketball ops. But because of the fact that Jim Buss was running the basketball ops so badly that it basically forced Jeanie Buss to fire.
No, we went through all that, Mahari. We went through all that. We understand.
To be fair, though,
we understand that. We went through that. Okay. But what I'm saying is, Jeanie, the funny part about the article that and I don't know why more people didn't get this out of it, is that the entire article talking about Jeanie Buss and Jeanie Buss's power, right? How she was able to get essentially the entire family of Busses fired or removed from their positions, was able to be a dictator and ultimately sell the team without any of the other family members really having to sign off on it to a significant degree. It was so much so that two of the brothers tried to collude together and they tried to fight her legally because she was acting, as they said, like a dictator, and they still lost in court. The whole article is about how much power Jeanie Buss has. But then all of a sudden, when they get to the part about LeBron James, all of a sudden she no longer has power, and she's just at the behest of LeBron James and Clutch Sports. and LeBron James and Clutch Sports is just running rampant all over Jeanie Buss and the entire organization. She can't do nothing about it. I don't get like that's like Kim Jong-un in North Korea, right? We know he's but then King Shai Solomon go over there and just start punking him in front of everybody. The shit don't make sense. That's what it essentially equates. Like the logic, like I don't.
No, I got that. I got that off the top, Lamont, when you were reading it. When I was reading the part of the article earlier today. Again, we know the Zesties don't read though, Lamont. You know they don't read. You should see them. They all running with this. People are making all kind of content about this, and nobody really read the article, realizing that this is really an article made to slander Jeanie Buss.
Yeah, it's a hit piece. It's a hit piece.
Yep. Yeah. It's pretty much what it is. It's a hit piece against Jeanie Buss, and how basically Jeanie Buss pretty much took full control of the Lakers and sold it out to another investor without her siblings' approval.
Yeah, now think about this. The contradictory works, right? Because in one sense, you're making it seem like she's this all-powerful woman that could kick her family out and take over and rule the Lakers. Meanwhile, they're showing her as being weak to LeBron. So they're feeding into two fan bases at the same time, saying, well, look, she's all this, destroyer and like Lamont said, this dictator, right? But in the same time, she's weak towards LeBron James. She's letting LeBron James and his camp rule her too. So they're like basically knocking out two birds with one stone.
And we know where it came from, because like this happens in business, this happens in any type of corporate life, everything. When something at the top, and there's people that are having, arguments and fights and stuff like that over control, one of those people is going to go to the press anonymously. We know who did it, but they're going to go to the press anonymously and have them create a story or a hit piece for the person that they're trying to, disregard. And that's just, it is what it is. That's how a lot of life has worked in terms of these situations.
Agree with that. But let me ask you this question though, and I can give it to Lamont on this one. Here's my issue with the Lakers. The Lakers have always taken pride of the fact, going back to Dr. Buss's years, of not letting players decide personnel decisions. But it's just a weird dichotomy where you say you got rid of your siblings, fine. But then when it comes to another player, now you don't want to dictate terms of it. See, I've always thought that the Lakers, when the way they run things, is very, very unusual. You know what I'm saying? I just always think that there's a weird dynamic when it comes to the Lakers and how they make their own personal decisions. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just find it very, very, very weird.
Yeah, I know there's some suspicious
I don't
activities.
entirely blame.
I think what y'all
Jim
missing
Buss,
on all of this too, and I don't think Lamont touched on this too, is how expensive it is to run a franchise. It was easier for her father to run a franchise. Like
Right.
Lamont said, that they were Lamont? They were worth less than $1 billion in 2013.
2012, they were at 900 million.
Exactly, right.
But that was the highest in the league, mind you. That it was the 900 million. That's the number one in NBA.
But that's what I'm saying. But back then, contracts for players were 120 mil, 150 mil for one player, right? Now you're talking about signing guys for 5 years, 500 million, right? You're talking about spending. You're talking about, and they just got this new deal. So and it's across the board. You have a lot of teams selling. So that was a part of it too, is the fact that can the Lakers of the Buss family, or even Jeanie Buss in general, continue to be owners of the team? That's why they felt like she finagled them, because she was like, listen, I know we can't own this team, but at least I'm going to still be running it. Like, I'm going to still run it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm still going to be here for the next 5 years for sure. Right? So, that's another thing we have to, she sold the team. And again, anybody who's selling, everybody knows when you're selling a team, man, there's a lot of instability. It's not really an atmosphere for winning, Lamont. You know that, man. That's what the selling teams is not easy to do, bro. It really isn't.
It's like that with a lot of people. Like if I'm selling, and that's why they also kept her on too. Like if I'm selling a company, and I know this is basically a company. If I'm selling a company, we're gonna give people continuity clauses. You're gonna still be here, transition clauses. You're gonna be here for this amount of time while we try and transition from this ownership to this ownership group to this ownership group.
No, inside. Think about this. And this is what I think we missed as well. Jeanie knew, and this is where I give Johnny some credit. I do believe that Jeanie, when he says that Jeanie has been working on this for some years, I'm gonna tell you why. What makes Johnny a little bit right? She initially got her 2 older brothers out the way. Then the 4 siblings that helped her get the 2 older brothers out the way, she came back later on, wiped them motherfuckers out the way. And I think she went to Mark Walters and said, I can get all these motherfuckers out the way and sell you the team. But if I facilitate this, you got to lock me in for another 5 years with this Laker team so I can keep running the show. Because she out of all the brothers and sisters, she is the one that's in the camera the most, right? She's had all the surgeries. She's able to maintain her youth. She likes being in the limelight and camera. She's sitting courtside. You can tell she likes the attention. She was even dating some.
The most popular.
But popularity right there. So she's shown that she likes the attention, and for her getting that additional 5 years guaranteed, with the team, it was very odd. After you fire everyone else, but you are now attached to the team for an additional 5 years, because the Lakers is the only thing that gives you relevance and keeps you in the limelight. That's the only thing.
Now, and I can agree with you. I do think that she, based on the situation and how everything went down, especially with her getting rid of her family members, that she has been working on this for some years, really. I would just bring it up the point, like, in a lot of situations, like when you're selling, there is like that continuity clause or transition clause. Now, I think that she definitely was, working on this for some years. I won't disagree with that. I do think she did some behind the back stuff and, going behind people's backs. It's just it's an unfortunate situation. And then I think that the people that leaked it, I think it's literally, like I said, it's a hit piece. So when you have situations that's like a power struggle, it's people that are going to go to the press and say, hey, look, I have a story for you. Run this story. It's exclusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's juicy. It's insider info, right? You don't have to say where you're getting this source from, but you can say, hey, inside with their secrets that we've heard Jeanie say these things. Who else can say that besides people close to Jeanie that she's not cool with?
Right. So
she can't trust her own siblings. She really can't.
I copied and pasted this, right? I copied and pasted the article and put it in the ChatGPT. And I said I just wanted to.
Also, I'm watching a really good Rockets Philly game right now.
Yeah,
it's in overtime.
King Shite, we don't care.
Come on. Be optimistic. Stop saying, we don't care about this shit, man. We don't care about that.
This time I'm on your side, Shot. Good job, Shot. I'm on your side, Shot. Good job.
Lamar, we basketball fans. We're supposed to care, man.
I'm just messing with him. I'm just messing with him.
Yeah, we basketball fans.
I went straight Johnny Cochran for Jeanie Buss. Straight Johnny Cochran for Jeanie Buss.
No, this is no. I think I'm not for Jeanie Buss. What I'm for is just be honest. Call all GMs out when you trash at your job. Just say they trash and call for their firing. Just like when fans thought Darvin Ham was trash, nobody held back and said fire him. Like why when it comes to Jeanie Buss and these owners, it's not that they're not good at their job. Oh, they just conspiring to be this bad. No, these motherfuckers are trash. They're just trash. So at the end of the day, just call trash. Quit dancing around it. No, they're good. But they just pretending to be bad. No, Jeanie Buss and the people in the place that she's put in there have been trash. Just say that. Just call them what they are. Don't try to make them good, and they're just hiding behind this veil of a conspiracy. No, they're just ass.
Mm-hmm. I can get with that, and the reason I can get with that too is because that's how it is in real life. Like for me, so my day job, I'm a district manager for a franchise chain. If one of my GMs is trash and it's someone making an excuse like, hey, look, your number, you're not having as much sales, your labor's bad. If they're bad, my boss, which is the president of the company, is going to tell me fire them because they're not good. So I can definitely agree with that. If they're trash, they're trash. I can agree with that.
Well, hold on. What if one of your district managers came to you and said, hey, I'm just intentionally hiring bad workers so the numbers go down. and we can justify firing them later. Well, yeah, your ass about to get fired. That's what's about to happen. Your ass is about to get fired, man. They ain't gonna. They don't have to do all that. Just like that's what I'm saying. You just trash at your job. And that's what I'm saying. Jeanie Buss and this is why we question Rob Pelinka. People knew going in it was going to be a struggle for him to be good at his job because he has spoiled relationships with other GMs. It's a trash move to bring him in because he's your close personal friend, but you know it's going to be hard for him to network and facilitate moves with these other GMs because he's spoiled all his relationships. That's a bad move. Getting rid of Magic Johnson was a bad move. Magic Johnson was connected with damn near every player and every team in the league. He was going to be able to bring in all the talent that you need. Look what Magic's doing with the Dodgers. Why would you? Right. Magic Johnson he's not even a baseball player. He's a basketball player. Imagine if you just let him do his job and stop getting in his way. So that's what I mean. Bad moves, dumb moves.
Yeah, I think he got his business acumen from Jerry West.
Yeah, because he basically learned under Jerry West.
Yeah, and Jerry West left the Lakers too. Turned the Clippers and the Grizzlies around when he did that.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because Dr. Buss kept burning the bridge with Jerry West for far too long to the point where Jerry West overexhausted himself.
Say that again. Magic Johnson, you got to spend money though. You see how much money the Dodgers spend? You got to spend money.
That's the thing though, and what we'll see under Mark Walter is we're gonna obviously with like the CBA and the cap and stuff, he can't just spend money like that. But the problem that the Lakers have had is that they are not willing to spend money on other things. For example, the head coaching position. Darvin, there were better coaches. We can be honest that there were better coaches than Darvin Ham available. They're not willing to. Excuse me.
Who?
One time.
Who? Name it. You can't tell me a better coach with a better offensive playbook than Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham's offensive playbook is used by 90% of the league. He has one of the best. He's one of the best offensive minds in the league. That's why when he got fired, I said he's going to get hired in 2.2 seconds. And he did. There were like 4 teams. Phoenix Suns.
Wasn't he the assistant coach for the Bucks?
What happened was Jeanie Buss and they needed, as Jeanie Buss went to work doing Jeanie Buss stuff, somebody has to be the fall guy other than me. And at the time, because she knew fans are illogical and dumb, what did they do? We're going to blame Darvin Ham. He has his hands in the pocket. That means he don't know what he's doing because fans are stupid. So fans blame Darvin Ham while Jeanie Buss could get away sky-free once again, right? Because Darvin Ham, if you really think about Darvin Ham, with all of the injuries and everything he had to deal with, that motherfucker won the NBA Cup and got the team to the Western Conference Finals. You did all of that with all of the shit going on around them and you get fired, bro. Come, bro.
All the way, Lamar. There you go again, being Johnny Cochran, man. You go being Johnny Cochran again, man.
Because their problems revolved because their problems revolved around the front office, not Darvin Ham. Yeah, the fans are delusional. They don't know.
Led by the wicked witch of the
you must quit.
No, the wicked witch of the West. That's what she is.
I'm telling y'all right now, Darvin Ham, and he has a play. I want y'all to go look it up. It's called the Hammer Series. He has an offensive playbook that every team in the league utilizes. And y'all trying to lead me to believe that this is Darvin Ham's fault when it didn't work, when he got this team to a Western Conference Finals and nobody thought they could do it. They won the NBA Cup and nobody thought they could win it. He kept that team afloat through all the injuries that they were having, right? You know, and the only thing that happened unfortunate in his tenure is he had to keep running into Denver Nuggets at the wrong time. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
And I'm not saying I wasn't trying to say that it's Darvin Ham's fault in my point. The point that I was making was with the money in this and them not willing to pay money. So I shouldn't have used Darvin Ham, but the point I was trying to make is that in terms of the team personnel that's not the NBA players, they are not willing. She was not willing, or she just didn't want to, like your point is, hire people that were I guess for lack of better words,
people that will put pressure on her to win. No, this is not smart.
Think about it. No,
you need to make this money.
When she's running around, right, firing siblings, creating rivalries and creating beefs within the organization, the only thing she can be focused on is hiring people that's going to keep her protected. Remember, the article specifically said the people that she hired, the Rambuses, these were people that are in her inner circle that all also got paid big off of this sale of the team because they kept her protected. Again, she couldn't focus on bringing in elite basketball minds because as soon as you start bringing in elite basketball minds and you don't focus on bringing in people that's going to protect you, you might be up next to get eliminated on this board if you don't start protecting your ass. Just like she got her brothers up out of there, they were trying to do the same thing to her. She just had enough people in her corner to stay protected. That's all she did. But so she can't focus on basketball.
Wicked.
She worried about to get shot in the back.
Wicked woman.
She was worried. Like, think about this. You in a war fighting, right? You got bullets whizzing around your head. I mean, you're worried about the bullets whizzing around your head, right? That's what she's worried about.
Johnny Cochran, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, clap for Johnny Cochran.
Let's
see what ChatGPT
ChatGPT. So ChatGPT.
Let's see what ChatGPT said. Let's see what it said.
It says this article feels more like a hit piece. It's just like you said, just like Johnny was dead on the money with that. It says it feels more like a hit piece than honest reporting. And then it goes down with these bullet points. It says this article presents Jeanie as a powerful enough to fire her siblings, powerful enough to control ownership votes, powerful enough to orchestrate $10 billion sale, powerful enough to consolidate authority, but then simultaneously claims she's somehow too weak for LeBron and clutch sports. I mean, it don't make sense, right? It says these two things cannot logically coexist, right? And so, again, this is the core logical contradiction. It talks about it again. It says how LeBron is used in the story. It says LeBron appears as a symbol, not as a documented decision maker. And he says his name is inserted to add tension, obviously triggered as SD Jeffries, as it did, create controversy and increase engagement. As we all know, LeBron's name increases engagement. It says there are no emails, no quotes, no directives, no proof of control. And as usual with clutch sports and LeBron James, none of it's documented, but all these people somehow know exactly what they be saying. It says the article confuses internal frustration with actual power. Let me see the conclusion that it has. Let's see what it has, because it broke it down. It says fans should understand there's no evidence that LeBron James ran the Lakers. There's no proof clutch sports control management. There's no documentation of LeBron forcing trades or contracts. And again, as we all said when we read the article, it's just a business article about the Buss family beefing with each other. Family drama. That's all it is. Billionaires beefing with each other. That's all it is.
They're not even billionaires.
No,
that's the funny part. They're not even billionaires.
You know the funny thing about it is they're individually, they're some of the poorest owners in the league. Because they were only getting paid like $2-3 million a year, like individually. They weren't even making that.
No, because the Buss's main money generator was the Lakers, and that's why they can't run it in the red, Lamont. That's why they have to. That's why I keep telling you, it's all about money, and that's what she was trying to tell her brothers and sisters, and they were looking at her like, no, we want to win, we want to spend money, we want to do all this weird stuff.
Now you are right about that. When I read about the Russell Westbrook trade, it did say that when it came down to Alex Caruso, that came down to, do you want to be in the luxury tax or not? And or push you over one of the thresholds or not. So letting Caruso go, so that was a dumb decision. That came down, and there could be some credence there, because after you win the championship, why would you care about being in the luxury tax? Like, why would you really care? You're gonna make that back.
Yeah, because you can't run in the red. That's what I'm saying, Lamont. You can't run that. You can't run in the red. You remember, Lamont, if you're now spending $150 million on a salary, and I think that at that time it was probably like 120. You know what I'm saying? You're over you're paying the luxury tax on top of that, and all you're doing is clearing your profits. Like, that's hard to tell a team, hey, listen, we built the championship Laker team, but there's no profits in this. Instead of just saying, hey, here's a franchise that making money, and if you want to really make this a winning franchise, I can get, like you said, I can get rid of my family. You can just sign me on, and I can really build you a franchise, and you'll have the money to pay back everybody, because it is a profitable business. Because obviously the Lakers are making money, like you said, their value continues to go up. So all of that goes into line. But at the end of the day, like you said, none of this got to do with LeBron. and LeBron's all involved in this. And we need to just, like I said, as LeBron fans, we need to get away from the Laker fan base, the whole purple and gold stuff. Get rid of all of that stuff. We need to erase it. Like he almost erased Miami off his legacy.
Man, listen, you taking this shit a little bit too far.
As a Laker fan, as a Laker fan, we be Laker fans for
You gonna
life.
see
Man.
some great basketball in that purple and gold, whether he played with us or not, man.
They sabotaged this man last 7-8 years with the Lakers, man. They sabotaged it, man. The man should have had 2 more championships, 3 more championships easily, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but you know, we could if we want to be technical, we could even go back to before Kobe retired.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think Johnny has a really good point because the Lakers has always depended on their superstars and marketed off their superstars. Like when Kobe Bryant, for example, said he studied Great White Sharks, a lot of casuals can relate to that. And that brought a lot more attention to the Lakers franchise, you know? And now since LeBron has his own brand with Clutch Sports and he speaks on his own podcast, they can't really profit off of that. And now since they're not getting a piece of the pie, she has to blame it on somebody else. You know, like Kobe Bryant and Shaq, all that music and record labels was all funded, you know, but basically by the Lakers. All of their, like, this is why Kobe Bryant was so, like, expressive to the media, because all that stuff was, like, funded by the Lakers, and everything they did on the media was funded the Lakers. With LeBron, he has his own brand. Kobe Bryant brand was basically the Lakers, and Shaq, outside of Shaq, until he like got that deal with ESPN. That was all he's branding.
Funny you say that. I had that conversation with what's called Best Takes podcast. Mm-hmm. He said something to that effect about LeBron not having a dynasty. And I told him, I said LeBron is a dynasty. He's not attached to a team like Jordan is. He's not attached to a team like Kobe is. He's bigger than any franchise.
He's not attached to a team like
Jordan Brand was basically.
Hey, we got to let New Word up here because New Word asked me a question about Darvin Ham. Because I want to.
He's up here. He's right here.
Oh yeah, New World.
Here.
You asked. I saw your question about Darvin Ham. You said Darvin Ham playing Taurean Prince, right?
That's my bro.
Yeah.
No. Let me ask you. No, hold on. New World.
Go ahead.
I want to ask you, right? So again. Because I said in the beginning of this, one of the biggest problems that Darvin Ham was injuries. Now, with all of the injuries facing that Laker team when Taurean Prince was getting playing time, let's go ahead and bench Taurean Prince. Who do we play as a healthy option in his stead?
I don't remember Austin Reeves being injured, Lamont. He was just playing bad when Darvin Ham sat him and started Taurean Prince.
Okay.
I don't remember our team being injured. I mean, I could be wrong, but I specifically remember D'Lo and Austin Reeves were having a chemistry issue. We're having them on the court together, and it was affecting our offense. So he sat Austin Reeves and played Taurean Prince, started him for about 20-so games, and it affected our winning record.
Okay, so you start Taurean Prince because Jared Vanderbilt had kept having a reoccurring foot injury, correct? Because I'm trying to talk about I'm trying to focus on players in similar positions. Austin Reeves' position is slightly different.
I think he was a rookie.
Yeah, and Austin Reeves that we know now was not the Austin Reeves who existed then. So it was still a much.
What year we talking about? We're talking about 23 or 24
or 22.
20,
nah, because 22, Vando wasn't there in
24. We're talking about 24.
It got to be 23 because Vando was on the team.
Yeah, I mean, because we're talking about
Vando at 23, right? They traded for Vando at 23.
Took up space.
Lamont, you're referring to the 23-24 season, correct?
Yes, you have to. So I'm saying, look, when I'm referring to the time frame that I could think of where Taurean Prince was getting decent minutes.
Yeah,
Rui kept getting hurt.
Vando was hurt.
Was that year Gabe missed the whole year, right? Right.
I think I think he played like 17 games or something like that.
And Kendrick Nunn. Don't forget Kendrick Nunn.
Okay.
Also, Reddish was on the team as well.
But hold on, Reddish was on the team, but he kept getting hurt as well. But he was super inconsistent.
Cam kept getting hurt.
Yeah, Reddish was just ass.
So hold on, y'all. No, I don't care about skill. I'm only referring to the injuries because Taurean Prince was only put into a weird spot because once the Lakers were dealing with so many injuries, it now comes down to how do we balance offense on the court and defense. And their defense was, they were getting cooked so bad. Remember, they could not, their biggest problem was they could not defend the 3-point line whatsoever.
At all.
And so Taurean Prince was a massive liability offensively. Sometimes he could be
and
okay.
defensively.
But defensively, defensively, with all the injuries, I want y'all to tell me who was a better option to play.
Yeah, Austin Reeves would have been worse than that situation.
It was definitely.
My question was to New World, y'all, not to the whole panel.
My bad.
It's to New World.
Oh, shit. I thought you were talking to the Laker fans.
To replace Taurean Prince at that time, I'll be honest with you, Lamont, I don't know.
I just want y'all to put y'all in Darvin Ham's shoes because if you're going to say Darvin Ham was trash for playing him, you got to have a better alternative.
No, but here's the thing. I don't think all those guys were hurt at the same time because Cam Reddish was in the lineup for a while until after we won the in-season tournament. He didn't get hurt until after that. So I get what you're saying with the lineups, putting some guys in weird spots. I'm going to totally acknowledge that. But there were times where that wasn't the case and he would still mess with the lineup.
But why was he messing with the lineup?
I'm not sure. Like he
Injuries.
just didn't like how certain things were. Well, Austin Reeves wasn't hurt though when he took him out the lineup. But
you're talking about Austin Reeves, not 2026 Austin Reeves. You're acting like he's benching the Austin Reeves that's scoring 28 a game. The version of Austin Reeves that we see now is not the Austin Reeves that we see then. Yeah. Austin Reeves back then had significant flaws, and he wasn't even he wasn't making up for it with this offensive outburst that he gave you this year and last year. Yeah. It's not the same.
He was
Austin
only
Reeves.
Like 18. He was only like an 18-point per game.
I mean,
16, something like that.
I'm saying he was a
16 and 5.
Defense. Y'all still say he's a defensive liability now. What do you think he was back then?
Yeah.
He was even they were saying him and D'Lo on the court together was pure nightmare.
Yeah, they kept that. That's all they were saying.
I remember that. I remember that.
I remember. It's because it was because of the defense, but you know, it was also we didn't have any spacing after we put both of them on the bench. It was crazy.
But y'all tried playing D'Lo and Reeves like y'all were playing D'Lo and Reeves. Like they were starting D'Lo and Reeves so much so that people were saying one of those two got to come off the bench.
Yeah, D'Lo ended up coming off the bench.
This is what I mean. Laker fans can never be happy because you give Laker fans D'Lo and Reeves starting. Then in the moment they were saying bench those motherfuckers. So you start playing the defense, then the defense can't score. Then you say bench that motherfucker. Give me the offense again. I don't know what the hell y'all want.
We don't have like
like when you see Marcus Smart and Vando out there.
We don't have a two-way player. We don't have a two-way player.
No, it wasn't. It was just injuries, bro. Like they would have had options if Jared Vanderbilt, Rui, Gabe, and all these guys were healthy at the same time. Yeah. Now you got options. You can probably come up with a more.
He played 29 games that season, Lamont. Jared Vanderbilt.
But all I'm saying is just like with all these injuries, like I don't know what type of voodoo magic y'all was wanting Darvin Ham to do. I just don't understand it. I don't know.
It was a rotation, Lamont.
Yeah, but then in 23,
but what I will say is
in 23 that they gutted the whole team before the right around the All-Star break. So you also inserting a whole new damn near a whole half a roster right in February.
Yep.
I mean, you got to give Darvin Ham a little bit of credit.
I'm not. I'm a Lakers fan because I'm a Kobe fan. I'm not so much of a Darvin Ham hater just because I mean it's more to the game than just the playoffs. Obviously, Darvin Ham's a decent coach, a good coach. I do believe that during the Taurean Prince minute stretch, that there were times where it's like, why is he playing? Now, I'm not saying that he had any better options. What I am saying, and I left a comment, like Max was not I won't say he was just a better option than Prince, obviously because of the experience. But there were times where I felt like Prince should have just not been playing and trying, at least try something else because there was a stretch during the season where it just wasn't working. And it wasn't working on all points.
But that's not, I understand that it's not working. I understand that in basketball things sometimes don't work. My answer is, what is your solution if Prince is not working? Because remember, we're now incorporating all of the injuries. So with all of the injuries, let's just say we bench Taurean Prince. He's now out of the rotation, getting 0 minutes. What does your lineup look like now?
But
That means
what I'm
Max
saying
Christie
is,
gets more
I don't.
minutes.
I was just thinking
I'm not
about Max
saying that Torian Prince
Because
should
he
get
played
0 minutes. Though.
70 games that season.
To be fair, he was really young, but
But he was playing
He
well.
was still
Yeah,
good
but looking
at
back
the
in
time.
hindsight, he was a better option
A
to
better
go with
option than
than Prince.
Prince
and I think that's what Lamont's talking
He
about.
just didn't get the minutes
on both
choice.
ends.
Yeah, I think Lamont's saying we had no choice. Like we were locked away.
There's no
I'm not
way
saying
that
that Prince,
Torian Prince should be playing 30 minutes.
and I'm not saying that Prince shouldn't be getting any minutes. I just thought that sometimes there were times where it's like he's not working. It's not working. Let's
30
try
minutes,
something.
that ain't it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he's a bad player by any means. But there were times during the season, because I watch every Lakers game. There were times during the season I'm like, why is he even in the game?
You know,
and
it's
I know
so
I'm not
funny.
the coach.
This is why I say Laker fans are crazy, because I remember Torian Prince when he was with the Bucks, when he was with the Hawks, and that motherfucker actually seemed like a productive player. All of a sudden, these guys get to LA, and y'all slandering every time they miss a 3-point shot. They can't function.
I don't know if he's good on the Bucks.
Some of them deserve it. Some of them deserve
It was the same result on the Bucks. The same result on the Bucks.
I didn't slander anyone. I actually said I didn't think he should be playing 0 minutes. I just said there were some times where I think that we should try something else besides just Torian Prince because it wasn't working.
The Laker fans want to try something else.
Lamont, what do you think when you hang around the?
Lamont,
what you think happens?
I'm not most Lakers fans.
What do you think?
I'm talking about me. I'm not most Lakers fans.
I watch Austin Reeves go into Boston and give them motherfuckers 40 on the road, and motherfuckers was coming out saying, "Oh, this just luck, man. We need to bench Austin Reeves." This is Laker fans saying this stuff.
Who said that?
Bro, hold on. Y'all remember? Hold on. Y'all remember?
I know which game you talking about. That was the game AD and Braun didn't play.
Yeah.
Rui went off.
Yep.
Him and Rui went off.
No, D'Lo too, because D'Lo had like 11 assists. He didn't shoot well, but D'Lo went off too.
Yeah, he had.
Reeves like that shooting contested logo threes.
And hold on. The next day, people like the locker room, all these avid Laker bench Austin Reeves. Oh, we need to trade him now. That's all they were saying. Laker fans is never happy.
I understand that point. Like I said, I'm just for to debate that, to rebuke that. I just don't think I'm in the same atmosphere as other Lakers fans. I'm not looking at it from a game-to-game basis and just switching and doing whiplash. I'm looking at it in totality. So I agree with your point that Torian Prince was obviously he was probably one of the only options during the time. But at the same time, during the time when it was not working, Darvin Ham refused to try anything else besides Torian Prince. That is the biggest issue. I'm not saying that Torian Prince should get 0 minutes. I'm not even saying that we should be trying to slander him. I didn't slander him.
How do you build chemistry?
Off about this injury
no,
thing,
I'm
man.
saying, how do you build chemistry if you don't let guys just play through it? Right? Like, as soon as a guy screws up, you all of a sudden saying, oh, we need to change it up. The best teams just deal with it and just build chemistry with a core. Every time things don't look right, you can't run around switching and cheesing your lineups, especially when you have all these injuries, because you don't think a 5 or 6 or even 10 game stretch didn't look right. Sometimes you just have to, a coach has to lock in with a core group, core guys coming off the bench and say, this is the rotation and this is what I'm rocking out with and this is what's going to be consistent. When you start changing stuff and this is when, it's just too hard to do that, man.
And I understand that point. I can also argue that sometimes, yes, you have to just stick with it and get through it. Sometimes you have to make a change. You can do it from both sides.
And I'm asking you, with the injuries, with the volume of injuries, what change would you have made?
I think we should have given Max Christie a better shot that year.
Because remember, Spencer Dinwiddie played 28 games. Cam Reddish played 48 games. Jared Vanderbilt played 29 games, gave Vincent 11. Hood Schifino, you could have tried him. He was your first round pick. Should we have tried Hood Schifino?
I think what's the name was hurt a lot too.
I mean, y'all talking. Hold on, I'm surprised. Hold on, why are y'all not saying like if you're gonna try anything? I'm gonna try my first round pick out of Indiana, who had a lot of promise. How come y'all ain't saying try Hood Schifino?
We tried him.
No, y'all didn't.
We tried him.
The name that I used.
We tried him.
No, y'all didn't. No, y'all didn't.
The name that I used was
hold on. He had promise.
We tried him. We tried him.
The name that I used was Max Christie. 78 games.
Absolute buns. Hot dog buns.
I'm about to send you one. He was
Hold on. Didn't y'all sign? Didn't y'all sign Harry Giles? He was a top 10 lottery pick. How come you didn't try Harry Giles?
Same reason why Sacramento ain't firing out.
Because they're garbage.
Hold on.
Because none of them got along.
Try Harry Giles out. What's him, Harry Giles in Portland?
That's because none of them got along with the wicked woman from the West. I keep telling you, she's the problem.
Oh my
Once
God,
you get rid of the
no.
wicked woman from the West, y'all will be good again. Just like the Heat, we get rid of Pat Riley, we be good again. You get rid of the wicked woman from the West. Get rid of her. That's all those players. That's why the Lakers suck. It's true. The Lakers get shooters, and all of a sudden they get to LA, they can't shoot.
The Lakers that year had 6 players play over 65 games. Taurean Prince obviously played the second most on the team behind Austin Reeves. So him and Austin Reeves were the 2 most healthiest players that year. LeBron and AD played. LeBron 71 games, AD 76. D'Lo played 76 games, so he was healthy. So we're going to look at your healthiest players. LeBron, AD, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui, and Taurean Prince are your healthiest players. My bad. Max Christie did. Christie played 67 games.
And Hayes, my bad. Hayes too.
Christie and Hayes. But remember, you can only have so many bigs out there, so we can incorporate Hayes in there as well. So what are we doing? So remember, right now,
Hayes was definitely not that good back then.
So hold on, we're taking Taurean Prince out of the rotation, putting him at the end of the bench. What's your rotation look like now?
That's the point I was trying to make, is that I don't think that Taurean Prince should be taken out of the rotation. I was just saying
I think should get less minutes.
Should get less minutes and try.
That was New World saying that.
After we realized that it wasn't working, to at least try something else.
New World said that, wasn't it? That was New World who said that.
Oh yeah, I don't think he should be getting no minutes. I was never part of that. I was just saying.
My point was, yeah.
Go ahead.
I
was just saying that I think that.
No. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. My bad, bro.
All right. I was just saying that I think we should have tried something else. And then you asked, what should we have tried? I think that we should have given Max more minutes. He was healthy.
Yeah, Max Christie would have been a best bet.
Okay, so Max Christie
shouldn't be playing
Max Christie that season.
Minutes, Lamont.
Max Christie that season averaged 15 minutes a game. So that 15 minutes should have been what? 25, 30?
25.
I think it should be 20, 25. Maybe 20, 25.
22.
20 to 25, yep.
Maybe
2023? Hell
22,
no.
22.
What else?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is 22, yeah.
When he got playing time, he was playing.
I told you, Lamont. Now you see why Jeanie did what she did. It's very easy to trick these dudes. They're Laker fans, bro. They're very easily tricked, bro.
I'm not easy. What do you? Excuse me.
Not you. Inside. I'm talking. Listen. You're surrounded by a bunch of Laker fans here. You're not the only Laker fan.
I don't even know about T-Look.
Yeah. There's
what happened the next year when he played 27 minutes?
Who? You said next year. That's next year.
That's a whole summer. That's a whole summer development.
He shouldn't get 20 to 25.
There's a whole summer development. Fundamentals, sir. A fundamentals, sir.
Yeah. Oh shit, the fundamentals.
Fundamentals,
sir. Get off that bench.
I guarantee you he wasn't working on the fundamentals.
Get the fundamentals, sir.
He was working on some Euro steps and some step backs.
Hey, Lamar, I actually got to get going in a little bit.
Yeah, it's 5-10 minutes to get about it. We can hold on. It's a good time.
We got 13K. We got 13K likes. That's actually really good.
14K now. 14K now. Yeah.
Oh, it says 14K now. Shout out to y'all, man. We've been good, man. We've been sitting at 60, 70 for a while too. Yep. And the usual's been popping in their heads, and they done send me the link to go to their lives instead of coming over here.
Yeah, wait till we go live to send you the link to join their live while we live.
Week, right? Trying to
now, mind you, they weren't live when you went live. When I went to check it, you was the only person I had live, so they went live. But again, Jeanie Buss, the wicked women from the West. You gotta get rid of the wicked woman from the West, man. She's wicked, man. That woman is wicked, man. She's a.
I know what it is, but
but it's time for the front offices to get younger anyway.
I know y'all saw my boy MB just get a triple-double and knock off the Rockets.
I knew you was going to say that shit. Hey, Drew, I knew you was going to say that shit, bro. I knew you was going to talk about the Sixers.
Well, all right, what end this live?
I thought you was a Warriors fan.
So y'all could take that shit to King Solomon shot.
Nah, he's a
Philly Curry fan.
I'm a Curry fan.
He's a Curry fan on TikTok. Nobody want to hear him
on another show, brother. I definitely want to debate you about the Darvin Ham situation, bro, because I don't think the injuries was as prevalent as what you were saying, especially when we were early in the season. where he was switching up our lineups and getting a lot of criticism for not having consistent rotation. So I'm gonna definitely pull up some articles and whatnot from that season, and we can go at it again next time.
Oh,
All right, hey, look, hold on. We can help you revisit. Hold on, we can help you revisit some of them nightmare games. We can just play some of them nightmare games. That's all we got to do.
No.
We can see Max Christie when he plays extended minutes.
To be honest with you.
I like that one.
It'll look better than
Jackson Hayes.
It'll look better than Terry Prince.
It'll
look better than the 30 minutes Terry Prince was giving us 30 minutes with 2 points.
Wait, hold on. Let's hold on. Hey, Johnny, I'm going to pull up a game where Max Christie played extended minutes. I'm not going to.
It will look better than Terry and Prince.
It might. I know. We're going to find out. All right.
I guess so, man. I guess we'll find out.
And then also, you know what? With some of these things, y'all got to also understand, and this is where Johnny keeps joking about Jeanie Buss, but I think I said this as well. I said Jeanie Buss is always going to hire a coach that she can control. And there's a lot of, at the NBA level, a lot of the minute distribution comes down from the ownership level, right? So if you got younger guys, and look, if the priority is, if you want to keep Taurean Prince's trade value high, maybe you're looking to move him. You can't just completely take him out the rotation. You got to show other teams he still has some value. So maybe there's a game to be played there. I don't know, but sometimes it gets political in the NBA too. So it's not always about just playing the best lineup. Like even with D'Lo, people were saying bench D'Lo, but it's just like when you're trying to actively trade this guy, how can you just bench him? He loses his trade value then. You got to show other teams he still has some type of value. And so I think there was a lot at play right there. And remember, all of this stems from the Russell Westbrook deal falling apart, right? And so there's a lot of factors at play other than just coaching that Darvin Ham has to consider. And
with Jackson Hayes, so we don't pay him, and we'll give you the promotion. We'll pay you. How about that? Bench him.
I don't know. I mean, I'm saying, like I say, I understand where New World's coming from, but I'm saying when you look at all the layers that go into an NBA team, and you look at the politics and dynamics, and that's why I'm be loving to have Gil on, because Gil be breaking it down. Even if you talk about how things got political with him when he was at Golden State, the motherfucker played too good. And they had to bench him because he was too good. Think about that. So at the end of the day, like there's so many dynamics that go on at the NBA level. It's hard for us to just. That's why I'm not so quick to just tear Darvin Ham down when I know that there are other factors at play that dictate what happens on the NBA court.
No, trust me, I know that. I know Pat Riley was loving it when Bam Adebayo didn't make the All-NBA team a couple years ago when he should have made it. Oh, he was so happy. He was so happy. He already knew.
You didn't have to pay him.
You ain't got to give him that super max. He was like, "Oh,
exactly."
And on the flip side, y'all know Memphis was mad as hell when Jared Jackson got all them accolades.
Exactly. That's why the Lakers are happy about Austin Reeves. This is another one too, because Austin Reeves was headed for an All-NBA season, and it was gonna be like, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do now?
He's not playing 65 games.
As long as Austin Reeves is just as long as we put him at a threshold where he only plays 64 games, do what you do.
Mm-hmm. I think he already missed it. I think he missed
he missed.
He can only miss 17 games.
He's done. No,
I don't know, bro. And so let me ask y'all. Y'all don't think the Lakers front office would go to that team doctor and say, make sure his diagnosis keeps him out X amount of games?
I think Jeanie Buss Lakers would have. I don't know about.
But considering
he said Jeanie Buss.
No, hold on, but hey, go James. That sounds like a Jeanie Buss move. Like based on what we read in this article, that sounds like a Jeanie Buss move.
Trust me, we're not gonna play. We're not gonna play with no high ankle or no calf injuries, because calf injuries turn into torn Achilles.
Hold on. I'm telling y'all right now. I promise you, if there was any time to gas up and exaggerate a so-called hamstring injury, that team doctor was probably putting all types of scary thoughts in Austin Reeves' head. Look, man. This might be worse than what it is.
Not a hamstring.
All I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is this: is the incentive on the Lakers to keep Austin Reeves under 65 games. That only favors the Lakers. As good of a season as Austin Reeves was having, if he has any injury, I'm telling my team doctor, Make sure that injury's a little bit worse than what we think it is.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead, exaggerate.
That's what he would do. That's what
Hold on, hey,
I
Johnny.
understand the wicked woman.
No, it's not. It's not wicked. Hold on, that's not wicked. That's team owners. That is league wide. Hold on. That's league wide. That is league wide. That's league wide.
That's just Jeanie Buss. That's just Jeanie
She's
Buss.
like every time I think of Jeanie, I think of Cruella DeVille from the 101 Dalmatians. That's exactly what she is.
Yo, the crazy thing about it is like so all her brothers didn't fuck with her, but they all had money. And she tried to make it seem like it was a money thing that her brothers were mad about. It's about the team. Nigga, you was not running a team how your dad would want the team ran. Your brothers didn't like that.
We read the article. Hold on, we read the article. We read the article in full. The article had nothing to do with no money, man.
You came too late.
That's what. Well,
it didn't have nothing to do with money.
She makes it seem like her brothers were wrong for acting the way they did towards her. I think her brothers were right and she was wrong. That's what
Hold on.
You don't know she's the victim. Oh, you know what? She's Cersei. She's Cersei from Game of Thrones.
Jeanie Buss. Think about it like this. They're having an internal war within the family. And when Jeanie Buss finds out that her two older brothers are looking to pursue legal action against her to remove her from her spot, again, she only reacts like anybody else with power would react. I'm going to protect my spot. So she gathered up the other siblings, got them on their side, filed a lawsuit, something else called a TPE, got their ass up out of there. Like all she did was fight back to keep her spot.
She put a restraining order on her brother. I'm telling you, this woman Cersei, she's wicked, a wicked woman, man.
All I'm saying is she just fought back just like anybody else would when you at the top. That's all.
She's a Lannister.
I don't care who's right or wrong.
She's a Lannister.
Yo, she's a Lannister. House Buss. She's House Buss. Remember, Lamar, it's all about the house. Your house first.
I'm a house Cersei. What's it called?
House Cersei. That's her name. How that's it? She a Lannister, bro. She a wicked woman, bro. She a wicked woman.
She's battle for LA tonight. It's the battle for LA. Clippers versus Lakers.
Yeah, man. I'm about to get ready to go, man. It's really good having y'all up here.
That was a good show.
I'm gonna watch that game.
We had a couple of new people show up, so that's good, man. We don't have to kick y'all off to let some new people
we'll be back Saturday. Hold on, we'll be back up Saturday, man, and cook. I don't know what the topic's gonna be, but we for sure will be back Saturday, yo.
We'll find some, and if not, this hopefully can come up tomorrow before the Friday night exposure, and I'm gonna give y'all my best players, the best 20 players ever that I've ever seen play basketball that I've seen with my own eyes, physically.
Oh man.
Get your popcorn ready, fellas.
What was your sneak peek? Number one, Jerry West.
Huh?
Is Jordan on your list?
Show up tomorrow 9 p.m. Eastern on Go James Kingdom and FYF.
Please don't let Jordan be on that list.
Again, show up tomorrow 9 p.m. You'll find out where Jordan lands.
You gotta be there.
It's on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where you can find us. That's where we'll be at. But we're also gonna, like I said, on TikTok. We can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord. We're all over the place. Lamont's even on Twitch and Newsbreak. Oh, we on Newsbreak too as well, but Lamont's got Headway Newsbreak. This is the FYF GJK TikTok takeover. Peace and blessings from y'all, man. Again, Jeanie is now Cersei Buss, House Lannister. She a wicked woman. That's a wicked woman, brother. So, man, other than that, Lakers don't lose tonight, and Lamont, your Blaze is going down, man. We not playing Davion Mitchell, Hero, or Ware's not playing tonight. So
it's over.
Don't let Bam Bam go off.
So hold on, is Denny Avia playing?
Yeah.
Y'all got one of the better defenses in basketball too.
Yeah, you guys got a legit All NBA player.
Yeah, man.
Y'all just need to Miami Heat. If there was any team that would be in perfect position to tank, it would be the Heat.
Oh, here you go. See, you know what? That ends the show, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings. We are out of here. Y'all have a good night.
All right, y'all. We out.
Boys, appreciate it. Great white sharks.